Now it's case number 310 on the calendar, the matter of Pennington versus Mobley.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat.
Miss Pennington, when did you and the defendant start to date?
April of this year.
And when for the first time did you loan him money?
I loaned him money 3 weeks after that.
For what?
I gave him money for his car to be fixed, as well as money to get his LA Fitness back on order.
And how much were those two loans?
I gave him a couple $100 for AutoZone to get fixed for his car, and then another $150 for his LA Fitness membership.
Tell me how that came about.
He text messaged me asking me for money to get his car fixed to go back and forth to work, and I felt as though I needed to help him being his girlfriend, which we were in a relationship, a committed relationship, within probably 2 weeks of when we met.
That's some commitment.
Yes. He asked me for the money to get his car fixed, and then he also asked me to...
Well, what did he say to you?
He said that he was not able to get back and forth to work, that he needed to get a head gasket set put on his car, and I loaned him the money.
Go ahead.
First of all, Yana, she was never my girlfriend. Everything that she gave me...
Don't start with everything. Let's start with car repair.
Yes, ma'am. The car repair, she gave it to me.
Well, tell me how she knew that your car needed repair.
I told her my car, my car
Well,
broke
tell
down.
me when, how did you tell her? Did you call her? Did you write her? Did you text her? Did you tell her when you were having lunch? How did you tell her that your car needed repair, Mr. Mobley?
On the telephone, Yana.
So you picked up the phone and you told her?
We was talking on the phone, and...
And you said?
I told her that my car was broke, and I needed help to get my car fixed.
My car was?
My car needed to be fixed.
And you needed?
A head gasket.
You needed?
Help. My bad, John.
Now, at this time, according to you, she wasn't your girlfriend.
No.
And she was never your girlfriend.
No.
Well, then why would you ask her for money?
Because she said she'd help me.
No. Listen, I am older than Methuselah. However, I do have an intact memory of my dating time, when I was a younger person. And I don't remember ever saying to anybody, I'm going to help you out financially, unless they told me that they needed being helped financially. So my question to you is, why would you, Mr. Mobley, tell somebody that you weren't involved in a relationship with, that you needed help? Could they give you money?
She offered, John.
There's something wrong with you.
Yana, she offered to help me, Yana. And when I told her my car was broke...
Just a second. Why would you tell someone that you weren't in a relationship, committed relationship with? Why would you have a conversation? My car's not right. I don't have money to fix it. I needed to go to work. Why would you burden somebody that you weren't in a relationship with all that baloney?
Because I knew she'd help me.
Ah, there you go. Because you knew. Just a second. I don't think you're adorable, by the way.
I think you are, though, Jan.
Though that's very good. You're right, I am. I don't think you are.
Okay.
So you told her, now we got it right. Now you told her you're tailable because you knew she would help you. That's being dishonest. And you knew she would help you because she liked you and because she thought you were in a relationship.
She loved me.
She loved you.
Yeah.
So then you were being doubly dishonest. You were playing on her emotions, even though you knew you weren't in a committed relationship. Who are you?
I'm his friend, Your Honor. It was roommate.
Why didn't he ask you for money?
Because I'm in the same boat as he is, Your Honor.
Sit. Do you understand where I'm going, Mr. Mobley?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm trying to think if that is just a big empty suit that you're wearing. And so far, it's coming up empty. So far, it's coming up empty, Mr. Mobley. It's showing me a lot of bad character. So far, you needed money for your car under false pretenses because you asked somebody who cared for you, and you played on that to extract money from her. You're going to pay for your own car. And the car was $200. Now, did you use the same ploy when you needed money for your LA Fitness membership?
She took it upon herself, Yana, and called LA Fitness.
Did she?
Yes.
Okay. Let me see how that came about, Mr. Mobley. You work at LA Fitness. You train people there. That's what I gather from here.
I work out at LA Fitness.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a professional fighter.
So you're a professional fighter and you work out at LA Fitness?
I work out at LA Fitness, yes. That's to lift weights. I work for a company called XFC. It's a extreme fighting championship. We do cage fighting, like UFC.
Great. But you work out at LA Fitness.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, what would cause Miss Pennington to call LA Fitness? Look at me. What would cause her, as opposed to calling De Beers for diamonds, or Harry Winston for a necklace, or Kmart for toilet paper, what would cause her to call LA Fitness?
First of all, I don't shop at Kmart.
Now, just a second. I don't. You understand? So you're not auditioning here, Mr. Mobley.
I know, Your Honor.
This is my program.
Okay.
So there's only one star here. Him.
All right.
Do we understand each other?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. What would cause her to call LA Fitness?
We talked. We had a conversation.
And Mr. Mobley.
We had a conversation, Your Honor,
about.
But I did not ask her to pay it.
No, that's not what I asked you. I said you had a conversation with her, and in the conversation you said
my LA Fitness membership has expired.
And
that was it. I didn't ask her to pay it, Your Honor. So it wasn't like
right?
I asked her.
Go ahead.
I actually have 90 pages of text messages stating exactly what happened during the car episode, exactly what happened during LA Fitness.
90
I have soft copy and I still have a hard
copy.
copy.
Car is a done deal. Car was $200.
Right.
LA Fitness
Yes.
is what I want to see. Just the emails from him about LA Fitness.
Yes, they're all in here as well.
Just take them out. I'm not going to read 90 pages.
No, I know.
Yeah. Oh, fortunately, we got from 90 pages, we got to one. This is incomprehensible. They're going to put something like this in a time capsule and bring it out 200 years from now and say that this was a generation of people who were total illiterates because of this texting business. The text speak. It's illiterate.
Oh, yeah.
Do I get to see that, Your Honor?
Yeah.
Because I don't recall saying anything, so.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You're not going to con me, sir. You may be a really good bouncer at a club, and you may be really good with the ladies, but I guarantee you, I could wrap you around here. The only thing is I have 8 other cases to do today, and you're beginning to bore me.
And later today.
And in addition to drawing a salary from the business, you also paid for your tan.
No, ma'am.
Believe me, I'm looking at her. She didn't go for a tan. That would be you.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Margaret Pennington says ex-boyfriend Ombe Mobley owes for several unpaid loans. Ombe claims Margaret offered to help him out.
Would you please show this to Mr. Mobley?
Sure.
Thank you. But, Your Honor, anybody can send text messages.
Just a minute. I'm not asking you anybody. You asked to look at it. I'm showing it to you.
I don't remember sending these text messages.
You don't remember it?
No, I
want you to
didn't send these
read
text
those through and tell me if any of the facts in those ring a familiar bell to you.
No.
Nothing?
No.
Well, then let me ask you more specifically, Mr. Mobley. I'll take it back. Who wrote, Miss Pennington, what time do you have to be in St. Cloud?
I did.
I don't know nobody in St. Cloud.
It was a fighting match he had to go to that day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true. I did have a fight.
Now, tell me about the probationary fines you paid for and when.
I paid for them on 7/16 of this year and 7/22 of this year.
How much?
$236.90, $751.90, and $236.90.
What were your probationary fines for, Mr. Mobley? Is not an answer, sir. What did you get into trouble for?
I got federally indicted by the feds for cocaine.
When?
5 years ago.
Did you serve any jail time?
Yes, a little bit, Your Honor.
How much?
Yeah, that's behind me. I'd rather not talk about that.
I don't care what you want to talk about, then you pay the money.
I know.
They're your fines. And if we're going to find out what they are, then we'll find out what they are.
The fines is for, it was court fees.
So are you prepared to pay them?
No.
Very good. Then we'll get back to what were you convicted of, sir?
I was convicted of possession of cocaine when attempted distribution.
And how much time did you serve?
I served a month, Your Honor.
And how much probation?
Probation was 5 years.
She paid several sets of fines. Were they all involving the same charge?
Yes.
All?
Yes.
Well, why didn't you pay the fines?
She offered to pay the fines.
Why didn't you pay the fines?
Because I couldn't pay him at that time, Your Honor.
Why not? You bought that nice suit. Not at that time, at any time.
I was in a bind.
What do you mean you were in a bind? You're a big, strong guy. Go and wait tables. Go and work in a club. Go and work in McDonald's. Do something. You have probation fines. You pay them. Why should she pay your probation fines? She didn't sell cocaine.
No, she didn't, but Your Honor, this was 5 years ago. This was 5 years ago.
She didn't sell cocaine 5 years ago or 10 years ago or yesterday. You did.
Yes.
They're your fines.
Yes.
So who should pay him?
She offered to pay him.
You're an idiot.
I should pay him, but she offered to pay him.
That's right. You sold the cocaine. You pay the fines. That's the way the law works. You con somebody else into paying the fines, we should put you back in jail. They should have put you back in jail anyway if you didn't pay the fines.
A second chance, Your Honor. Everybody deserves a second chance.
Well, they gave you a second chance.
And I'm taking
as part
advantage
of
my
your
second
chance, they said you have to pay these fines. That's part of the second chance. We're not going to put you in jail for 5 years. We're going to put you in jail for a month. And we're going to say, take a second chance, but you got to pay these fines. You say, I'm not paying these fines. I'm going to get some broad to pay my fines.
I didn't say that, Your Honor. I didn't say that at all.
Well, then how would she know, Mr. Mobley, since she wasn't your girlfriend and you weren't in an intimate relationship with her?
We was intimate.
No. No, just Mr. Mobley. Mr. Mobley, having a physical relationship with somebody, as you well told me 5 minutes ago, doesn't mean you're in an intimate relationship. You said she wasn't my girlfriend.
But she knew that, Your Honor. She knew.
There's something wrong with you. You think you're going to con me like you've been conning other people now for years? You're not going to con me, sir. You may be really good at fighting mixed martial arts, and you may be really good with the ladies, but I guarantee you, I can wrap you around here. The only thing is I have 8 other cases to do today, and you're beginning to bore me.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
the camera will find that in your face so that the 10 million people who watch this will see that look that I'm talking about. They're becoming very clued into that look, Mr. Clemens. The camera gets liars.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Margaret Pennington says ex-boyfriend Ombe Mobley owes for several unpaid loans. Ombe claims Margaret offered to help him out.
Now, let's understand each other.
Yes.
You sold the drugs.
Yes.
You pay the fines. We understand each other?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $15.75. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
If a person offered to pay it, what I'm going to say, no?
No, I don't think he saw me as a dollar sign.
If a person walked up to you right now and say, yo, I'm going to give you $1 million,
I just think that I have a good heart, and I was trying to help him out.
what you going to say, no?
I guess everybody learns from their mistakes. He was my mistake.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of O'Boyle versus Clemens, step forward.
Mary Katie O'Boyle is suing her former business partner, Jeremy Clemens, for taking money from their business account, a tax debt, and accountant fees.
Miss O'Boyle, you and Mr. Clements went into a business venture together, according to your complaint, and that business adventure was a salon business.
Yes.
It didn't work out. Business is no longer viable, but it is your claim that there was a business account from which Mr. Clements paid personal expenses, unbeknownst to you. I'm not exactly sure, after reading Mr. Clemens' answer, what his defense is to that, except that he says you knew that he was paying personal expenses out of your business account. Okay, Miss O'Boyle, what is it that you allege Mr. Clemens paid out of the business account?
I have them all here, Judge Judy. Target cards, beach bum tanning, Ranchero restaurant, Belk's.
During what period of time?
This was in April, and it was like a 5-day spending spree.
May I see it, please?
Yes.
Did you pay a Comcast bill out of this?
I do not know, Your Honor.
Well, if you don't know, and that's what it says, then I guess you did. Sally Mae. Sally Mae what?
It's a student loan bill.
$336.99. That sound right?
That wasn't what I paid monthly, but
I didn't ask you whether you paid it monthly. Maybe you missed a month.
I might have.
Might have. What about Sunoco, sir?
I did go on a business trip for the salon, which I did use the card for gas.
And how much did you put into the business account from that business trip?
How much did I put into the business account, ma'am?
There's an echo in here, Mr. Clemens. My question is, how much did you put into the business account from that business trip?
Well, I didn't take a paycheck. So basically, it depends on how much I had from that week that I would have made.
I don't think you're cute, actually. I don't think you're cute. I think that you did the wrong thing.
No, ma'am, Your Honor. She knew every...
Don't tell me what she knew. First of all, I'm looking at you and you're lying. First of all, I'm looking at you, and believe me, the hair goes up on the back of my neck when somebody is lying to me. And Mr. Clemens, I'm looking at you, and when you say to me, she knew, you're a liar. The camera will find that in your face so that the 10 million people who watch this at least once a day will see that look that I'm talking about. They're becoming very clued into that look, Mr. Clemens.
I'm not lying,
Very
Your
clued.
Honor.
Oh, yes, you are. You telling me that you told her that you had drawn out a check to pay for your student loan in the amount of $336?
Well, after the 12
you see that
beers
look,
she had
Mr.
had,
Clemens,
she probably doesn't remember.
Mr. Clemens, the camera's getting you, sir. The camera gets liars.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Have you been cheated? Go to judgejudy.com or call 1-888-800-JUDY.
If what you're saying and your answer is she was drunk all the time, so she doesn't know what I told her and what I didn't tell her, what I think is you're a hustler and you took advantage of her.
No, ma'am.
I think you're a hustler and you took advantage of her and drew out an awful lot of money that didn't belong to you, that you didn't work for, and that you figured, well, I got this lady. She doesn't know. She's an old lady. What does she know? You know, I'm younger and I'm smarter, and I've been hustling all my life, and this is just another hustle.
No, ma'am.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Mr. Clemens. See it. I see it. Because nobody who runs a business lets their partner, unless they're also drawing things out, paying personal expenses from the business account. Then some people say, you know what, I'll pay a couple of bills from the business account, you pay a couple of bills from the business account, and it'll be a wash. But that didn't happen in this account, Mr. Clemens. The only one who paid their personal expenses out of it was you.
She wrote herself checks from the account.
You.
She didn't use the card. She wrote herself checks.
What about...
And had her clients pay her.
Just a second, Mr. Clemens. What about you? Did you not draw a salary from the business? Just answer my question. Did you not draw a salary from the business?
A commission-based salary, yes, ma'am.
I don't think you're cute, Mr. Clemens, in case you haven't figured that out yet. Did you draw a salary from the business?
Yes, ma'am.
That would be the answer. And in addition to drawing a salary from the business, as Miss O'Boyle did, you also paid for your tan.
No, ma'am.
Believe me, I'm looking at her. She didn't go for a tan. That would be you. Listen, Miss O'Boyle, he's a hustler. You're not supposed to go into business with hustlers. Do you understand?
Yes.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,100. That's all. Step out.
Thank you, Judge Judy.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge...
Yes, case number 367 on the calendar, the matter of Allen versus Goodell.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat.
Mr. Allen, how long have you and the defendant been together?
Off and on for about 14 years.
You have a child, is that right, together?
That's correct.
How old?
He's 6.
You're no longer together with the defendant, is that right?
That is absolutely right.
Who has custody of the boy?
She does.
Really? How did that happen?
We just both agreed through family probate court that she'd have custody.
That's a sort of strange. What's wrong with you?
Nothing. That's just the way we decided to do it.
Well, I'm curious about that, considering what this case is about.
She has her problems, but she drinks a lot is what it is. And I don't think that... She's a good mother is what it comes down to.
You can't be a good mother and drink a lot, Mr. Allen. Those two things don't go together.
That's where I come in.
What do you mean that's where you come in?
I stay at her house while she goes out and drinks. I know, it's not a smart thing, but...
In what jurisdiction do you live?
In Worcester County.
Which is where?
Massachusetts.
How many children do you have, Mr. Allen?
I have 2 myself.
There was a certain hesitation in that, Mr. Allen.
It's 2.
2 is an answer. How old are they?
One's 16, one's 6.
And where does your 16-year-old live?
He lives with his mother.
And how many children did you give birth to, Miss Goodell?
The one.
This is what this case is about. Then maybe we'll revisit this issue. It is your claim that Miss Goodell, while out on a bender, drinking at a bar, brought home a male stranger to the house. That male, who she brought home to the house, damaged your motorcycle by knocking it over. We are going to assume, for the purposes of this case, that that did in fact happen, that your motorcycle was damaged as a result of this stranger that Miss Goodell brought home to the house. Your theory is that since Miss Goodell could not tell you the name of this person, that her conduct created a situation that enabled this to happen, and therefore she should pay for the motorcycle damage.
Correct.
So I'm going to find out the story, then maybe we'll go back and revisit this whole thing. What do you do for a living, Mr. Allen?
I work in an IT department at a business, Mass Mutual.
And how long have you worked for them?
About 6 months.
Prior to that, where were you working?
I was a subcontractor for a cable company.
And how long did you work for them?
A few years.
How many years?
2.
And where does Miss Goodell work?
She works at a dental office.
How many days a week?
3, sometimes 4.
Excuse me?
3, sometimes 4 days.
She worked part-time or full-time?
Full-time hours, but part-time days.
She paid in check or cash? Look at me.
Cash. I get paid in cash. Is that what you mean?
I didn't ask you about you.
Oh, sorry.
I asked about her. Where do you live?
Right now I'm staying with my parents.
How long have you been staying with your parents?
Since this incident,
And when was this incident?
October 14th.
And when did you go to court and agree that Miss Goodell had custody of your son?
I'd say 2008.
Does Miss Goodell receive any sort of supplementary assistance from the state for her support or the support of your child? Look at me.
You'd have to ask her. I believe so.
That's something you would know, Mr. Allen. So the answer is either yes or no.
Yes.
Do you pay support for your son?
I help her out.
That's not what I asked you. Do you pay support
Yes,
for your
I do.
son?
Yes.
Through the court?
No.
To the state?
Nope.
You think this was going to be easy, Mr. Allen?
No.
Not easy.
No.
Not easy.
All right.
Now, when you moved out of the house after this incident on October 14th, when the mother of your child, who was out on a drinking binge and brought home a stranger to the house, according to you, with your son sleeping in the room right next to you,
Correct.
you thought it was a good idea to move out and leave him there with his mother?
No, I took him that night. I left with him.
Just a second. You left with him that night.
Yes.
How did he get back to his mother?
She picked him up the next day at my mother's.
And what did you do?
What was I supposed to do?
Go back to court and say she's unfit to take care of him. She brings home strangers who she doesn't know to your house while drunk in the middle of the night. That's what she says in her answer, right? That's what you said in your answer. I did read it right, didn't I?
Correct.
That's what I would do as a parent. I would go into court the next day and I would say, listen, this arrangement in 2008 is no good because my son is a child, he's at risk. You don't drink, do you, Mr. Allen?
Not very often, no.
Do you use drugs, Mr. Allen?
No.
Ever?
In the past.
How far in the past?
8 years.
Who else lives in your parents' house?
My...
Don't look over there.
Oh, no,
And
I'm
you
sorry.
shouldn't have to think about it.
My brother lives there, and my parents.
And do your parents work?
Yes, they do.
Both of them?
Yes.
How long had you been living in Miss Goodell's house?
6 months.
Prior to that, where did you live?
I lived with an ex-girlfriend in Connecticut.
Well, that was an off, because you've been on and off, according to you, with Miss Goodell for 14 years. So that wasn't very long.
No, we took like a 4-year break.
And are you telling me that for 4 years you lived with this ex-girlfriend? And if I were to call your mother now at work, she would tell me that you live home now for about 6 months, and before that you lived with your girlfriend in Connecticut for 4 years?
Yes, correct. I had my own apartment before that.
In Connecticut?
In Massachusetts.
Is that where you lived with the girlfriend?
The ex-girlfriend was in Connecticut. It's just over the line in Massachusetts.
So she lived with you?
No, I lived with her. At her house.
I thought you said you had your own apartment.
Before her, I did.
Well, that was, now we're talking 5 years ago.
Yeah. I didn't know how far you want to go back.
You said you took a 4, you see, Mr. Allen, you said you took a 4-year break from Miss Goodell. That was at the time when you were living with the girlfriend in Connecticut, right across the border. Before that, you said you had your own apartment. Well, you can't have it both. Either you had your own apartment or you were living with Miss Goodell. Which was it?
When I broke up with the girlfriend, I moved in with Miss Goodell.
Well, that was afterwards, sir. We're talking about before. You said before that I had my own apartment.
Correct.
That was 5 years ago.
About that.
Well, if 5 years ago you had your own apartment, then you weren't living with Miss Goodell.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't living with Miss Goodell 5 years ago.
When did you live with Miss Goodell?
Up to about 6 months ago.
You said you were on and off for 14 years. You have a 6-year-old child, Mr.
Yes.
Allen.
Correct.
I think the state ought to think about coming in and taking your son.
Yeah, well, that's your opinion.
Yeah, that's my opinion. If the answers that I get from her are anything similar to what I'm getting from you, I would take a long, hard look at whether this is an appropriate household to raise children in. You babysit for your son while his mother goes out and gets drunk, and then you go home to stay with your mother and father, and I would take a careful look at what's going on here. Now, you want to tell me what happened? What night did you go out and get loaded and bring home a stranger?
It was Wednesday night, October 13th. I play in a shuffleboard league on Wednesday nights, and I was out with friends. Going back to being on and off for 14 years, one of the main issues that we have together is that Doug is known for stalking and harassing and annoying phone calls, rude text messages, things like that.
He says you're drunk. He says you go out.
Say that.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You people clearly have got the system down pat. You know what system you don't have down pat? Me.
Okay.
Me.
And later today,
How many trees did you cut down?
Well, I went straight across the fence. I'm not exactly sure.
Did you do that yourself, or did you have somebody else do it?
I did it.
I'd like to see what you did.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Douglas Allen claims the mother of his son, Lynn Goodell, owes for damages to his motorcycle caused by a man she brought home from a bar.
He says you go out and drink, and what he does is watch your son, and he's not worried about it because he lets you go out and drink, and he babysits for the child. That's what he says. I'm just telling you.
Right, I hear what he's saying.
That's what you say. So you went out to the Shuffleboard League on October 13th.
Correct.
And you were hanging out with some friends, and?
And I did have a few drinks that night, and I was playing, and I was conversing with an acquaintance of mine, and Doug started with his annoying, harassing phone calls and text messaging. The person became concerned for me and was asking me what the issue was and why I was becoming angry and annoyed, and I showed him some of the text messages that I received from Doug only on this one occasion, and he seemed slightly concerned for me and why I put up with it, and I explained, well, you know, Doug's kind of a hard person to get rid of. I've had restraining orders, I've had no abuse orders, I've had no contact orders, I've moved, I've changed my phone number, and this has been going on for a long time. Over the last year, yes, Doug...
Just stick with October 13th.
Okay. Well, this person became concerned for my well-being.
Remember, I read your answer, Ms.
Yes.
Goodell. Your answer doesn't talk about anybody being concerned for your well-being. Your answer talks about you being drunk and weren't able to drive home. Keep going.
I won't drive after I've had even 2 beers, so I let this person drive my car.
Person's name?
I only know his first name.
So you had somebody drive you home because you had been drinking?
Yes.
Let's cut to the chase. Mm-hmm. What happened when you got home?
It all happened very quickly. The man escorted me to the house. He asked if Doug was there. I said, obviously, he's here, yes. And he kind of helped himself into the home.
What do you mean he helped himself into the home? How do you help yourself into the home?
He just kind of walked in with me and made his way up to the bedroom. And
he made his way up to the bedroom?
He just, yes. I mean, obviously, Your Honor, he was drinking as well.
You knew where that was.
It's not that hard to find a room in a house.
Keep going.
So he went into the home, he went up to the stairs, and he went into the bedroom, and I was a few moments behind him. When I reached the top of the stairs, I realized that they were engaged in conversation. Doug looked at me, and I apologized, and the man said, "Why are you effing sorry?" and stormed past me, back down the stairs, out the door, and I went after him because I knew he had my keys, so I was like, what's going on? It all happened very quickly. I didn't know that this was going to happen. So when I went after him, I realized that the bike had been tipped over and he was getting into my car. I got into my car with him, and I said, what was that all about? And he just said, don't worry about it. I did it for you. And I was confused, so I had him drive back to his own vehicle. He got in his vehicle and he left. I sat in my car, absorbing the whole situation, and couldn't really come to an answer, so I sat there for several hours. Didn't want to go back home at that point, knowing that they would be...
Actually, Did you see this man tip over your motorcycle?
I did not see him tip over the bike.
Who is this?
That's my witness. It's my friend Tim.
Witness to what?
He was there when she and her one-night stand came to the house drunk. So he witnessed everything I did.
If he were to testify, what would he testify to?
He'd testify to seeing them drunk, and
Just a second, does he live with you?
he was sleeping over that night. He slept over in the basement.
What was he sleeping over for?
Because I told him I was going to be there with my son that night, and I bought my son a Nintendo Wii, and he comes over and we play games with the kid.
Uh-huh. And what time were you in bed?
I'd probably say 1 o'clock.
And who does this witness live with?
He lived with his girlfriend in Connecticut. He doesn't anymore.
When was the last time you worked full-time?
It's probably been about 3 or 4 years.
Do you get paid in check or cash?
By check. But it's only 10 hours a week right now.
I don't want to hear him.
Okay.
Don't you think that's a good idea?
You say so.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
You don't have any pictures of these trees before they were cut down?
No, ma'am. There was no need to take any pictures.
No. Just answer my question.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Douglas Allen claims the mother of his son, Lynn Goodell, owes for damages to his motorcycle caused by a man she brought home from a bar.
You have any other proof, Mr. Allen, that this gentleman that your girlfriend brought home knocked over your bike?
No.
No. And where was your bike parked?
Right at the end of the driveway, about 15 feet from the door.
Outside.
Correct.
When was the last time you watched your son while Miss Goodell went out drinking?
That would be this Tuesday.
This past Tuesday?
Correct.
And did you stay over at her house?
I did not, no.
So you must have gone home very early in the morning if she went out drinking. What time did she get home?
I do not know. I didn't stay there.
Well, who babysat for your son when you left?
I did. I took him to my mother's.
And she picked him up in the morning?
Correct.
And was that by pre-arrangement that she was going out?
Yes.
Who watches him at your mother's?
I do.
What about your mother?
She works. She was sleeping.
And what about you? When do you work?
I took a couple days off.
Goodbye, Mr. Allen. Listen, you people clearly have got the system down pat. You know what system you don't have down pat? Me.
Okay.
Me. She works. She gets paid in cash. Other than that, you get welfare for your child?
I do not.
You get any assistance for him?
I do.
What do you get for him?
Housing, food stamps.
Housing, food. That's assistance.
It is assistance, but it's not welfare.
What is it?
Welfare is cash from the state.
Who pays your rent?
I pay my rent. Well, the state pays half the rent.
Got it. Goodbye, Mr. Allen.
Enjoy your day.
Excuse you may step out.
No, I don't think she meant to cause problems. She was drunk in a blackout.
I was not in a blackout that night.
She was drinking and she must have blacked out. She brought the guy home.
And I don't drink to black out.
When they left, he pushed her over on the way out.
He's angry because, well...
A bike, a motorcycle.
He's caused a lot of turmoil in my life.
Can I leave now?
And, you know, this was just karma.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Glover versus Brookins. Step forward.
Tanya Glover is suing her neighbor, Lasha Brookins, for cutting down 5 trees in her yard. Lasha claims the trees were attracting bees.
Miss Glover, the defendant is your neighbor who cut down trees that were on your property.
That's correct.
And you want her to either replace the trees that she cut down or build a privacy fence. And Ms. Brookings said that she cut down the trees because there were bees in the trees that were stinging her and making it unsafe for her to use her backyard. Okay. How long have you been neighbors, Ms. Brookings?
10 years or better, I do believe.
Could you keep your voice up?
10 years or better.
And how many trees did you cut down?
Well, I went straight across the fence. I'm not exactly sure, but I do have a picture of what I did.
It's 5 trees.
And did you cut them down at the bottom, or did you cut them down from on your property?
From on my property.
So you stood on a ladder?
Yes.
Did you do that yourself, or did you have somebody else do it?
I did it.
I'd like to see what you did.
I have pictures also, Your Honor.
I'd like to see pictures of what
it looks like
down.
from my side.
I'd actually like to see what she cut down. Are these shrubs or trees?
These are trees. Those are evergreens, Christmas trees.
You don't have any pictures of these trees before they were cut down.
No, ma'am. There was no need to take any pictures.
No. Just answer my question. Because these trees look as if they were covered with vines. There were vines in the trees.
In the trees, between
I'm talking about vines in the trees. I see them here, the kind of vines that kill trees. So what I want to know is, were these trees green or were they green and brown?
The trees were green.
Correct?
Not correct. They were green and brown.
Yeah, they look as if they were green and brown. Okay, very good.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Have you been cheated? Go to judgejudy.com or call 1-888-800-JUDY.
How many of these trees were cut down?
5.
You can't cut down her trees. You can't, listen to me. I don't know how many times I have to say this. You cannot cut down her trees. You can cut down branches that are leaning over on your property, but you can't cut down her trees. And if you do, you have to replace them.
Okay, but I don't see why I have to replace them when they were over and they were housing bees.
No, just a minute. You're allowed to cut down branches that are hanging over onto your property, but you can't go on her property, even the air of her property, in order to get to trees that aren't infringing on your property. You can't do that.
Well, yeah.
You can't do that without an order. Anyway, you can't do it. Trees are $50 a piece. It costs you another $50 to put them in. That's $100 times 4 or 5.
I have an estimate.
I don't need your estimate.
A proposal from...
I don't need an estimate. Times 5. There were 5 trees.
Yes, ma'am. There's 9-foot trees.
Most of them look as if they were dead anyway.
Well, no, they weren't, ma'am. They're 9-foot trees.
Judgment for the plaintiff. That's all. Thank you very much.
All right, Zach, excuse you may step out.
Judge Judy continues.
All rise. Now, it's case number 406 on the calendar in the matter of DeSalle versus Lampkins.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Judge parties have been sworn in. You may be seated.
Ms. DeSalle, you and the defendant signed a lease together on an apartment.
Yes.
She moved out.
Yes.
You want her to pay the remainder of her share of the rent for the remainder of the lease.
Yes.
The defendant says that you changed the locks on the apartment. She was thoroughly prepared to pay for the remainder of the lease, even though you two weren't getting along, and she decided to move out. However, she could not go back to the apartment even if she wanted to because you changed the locks. When did you sign the lease to the apartment?
On August 6, 2009.
And when did you move out, Miss Lampkins?
I left on...
He was locked out.
Shh. If you shout out one more time, you're gone.
Okay.
Got it?
Mm-hmm. Got you.
Perfect.
Got you.
I left on April 7, 2010.
And when did you return to the apartment and find the locks changed?
Yeah, that was the same day, Wednesday, April 7, 2010.
That is not true, Your Honor. She actually left on April 5th is when she told me she was moving out.
April 5th, she left?
Yes.
And she had paid April's rent?
Yes, she did.
And she didn't move all of her things out on April 5th, is that correct?
Correct.
She still had some...
Her bed left in the apartment and a desk.
TV.
Shh. She still had things left in the apartment. On what date did she come back for the things? Was that on the 7th?
No, actually there was an issue on the 6th, and then the 7th she came to get the rest of her things.
There was what kind of issue on the 6th?
There was an altercation when I came home from school with her.
You came home from school?
Mm-hmm.
Was Miss Lampkins in the apartment?
Yes, she was.
And she was there with her mother?
Yes.
Tell me what happened.
Well, when I ride home from school, I didn't know that they were home because the door was shut. I go in my room to grab everything or my cell phone.
2-bedroom apartment?
2-bedroom apartment, and it's separated with the living room in the middle. So I come out of my bedroom, go in my normal spot in the living room, and then that's when Taquana's mother, Irma, approached me about the situation that had happened the day before on the 5th about her moving out. And
I didn't say I was moving out on the 5th.
She said that Irma wanted to talk with me and my mother, and I addressed her and I told her that, you know, this issue is between me and Taquana, and that we're both adults and we both signed the lease, and it needs to be between me and Taquana. Things escalated from there.
What do you mean they escalated?
Taquana's mom started pretty much saying that she wanted to talk to my mother. She was getting in my face about how, you know, she wants the money back for April's rent and things like that. And then I end up calling my mother, and then Taquana's mom got on the phone with her and was telling my mom things about how she wanted the money back.
Okay. Did you ultimately give her back her April's rent?
That's after I had to get a temporary restraining order on them.
Okay. So that was on April 6th, this conversation that you had with...
Part of the conversation, yes.
And then they left?
Yes.
Now, when they left, did Miss Lampkins leave any property at the apartment?
Yes, she still had her bed and things like that, but they left with threats.
They what?
Her mother was threatening that they would come back the next morning, and also they would come back on Friday and have parties in the apartment because pretty much everything in everything in the apartment still belonged to me besides the things that was in her bedroom.
Just a second.
Okay.
So her mother was having conversations with you.
Yes.
And she was being, in your view, unpleasant.
Yes, I called the police.
And did the police arrive?
No. No, they didn't.
If you shout out again, I'm granting her application and throwing you out. Now do you get it?
I apologize, Your Honor.
Now do you get it?
Yes, I do. I apologize.
Good, because you'll have a chance to tell me your version of the events, but you won't have an opportunity to tell me your version of the events if you open your mouth again when I'm not addressing you.
Okay.
Go.
Okay, so I did call the police, but after that...
Did you make a police report?
There were no police reports taken, but there was a transcript.
A transcript of your phone conversation?
Yes.
Okay, I'd like to take a look at the transcript of the police report.
Okay.
That was on the 6th.
Yes, the top copy is actually the phone call that Taquana made, so the second copy on the bottom is the call that I made to the police.
Okay. You reported that your roommate's mother is verbal and refusing to leave the apartment.
Yes.
You don't say anything about her. And you were upset because the roommate hasn't been paying her share of the bills.
Yes.
Supposed to be moving out, but no eviction.
Correct.
That's what it is. So she wasn't doing anything to you?
No.
Okay, that's on the 6th.
Yes.
What was the next thing that happened?
I had to get a restraining order because also on comments that she made on Facebook talking about...
Just a second.
Oh, sorry.
On what date did you get a restraining order?
The 7th, that morning.
And on what did you base your application for a restraining order?
I had a printed copy of what she posted on Facebook about if I tried anything else.
I'd like to see it.
Okay.
Don't tell me. I can read it. As a lesson learned. I don't understand what that means.
It's pretty much a gun.
Do you have any idea what this means?
Your Honor, a burner is a slang term, a street term for a gun.
And you are?
I'm Stephanie's father. It was the reason, hence the reason my wife and I went to her apartment. We were afraid for safety.
Yeah. Burner's a pistol.
Did you threaten to get a pistol? I'm not saying that you did it. Did you threaten? Well, I'm going to give this to you. Take a look at it and just make sure you read it carefully. I'm not asking you whether you meant it or not. I'm not asking you whether you have a gun or not. All I'm asking you is, did you write it?
Did I write that? Yes.
Excuse me?
Yeah, I wrote this sentence here.
Read what you wrote.
I put, LOL, girl, bring the burner tomorrow, but tonight I need a drink, so turn me up.
The one before that?
The one before that is my friend, Destiny.
Your friend said?
My friend said, if she pull anything else, I'm going to get the burner, and she going to take it.
Your friend said that?
Yeah, my friend said that.
Okay, so that wasn't you?
No.
And you responded what?
I said, LOL, girl, bring the burner tomorrow, but tonight I need a drink, so turn me up.
Okay.
Tomorrow would indicate April 7th, the day that her mom said that they would return.
Just a second. Listen to me.
Oh, sorry.
Do you know this person, Destiny?
I'm not aware of who she is, but when...
Who is that?
That's our friend. She came to the apartment.
Is that somebody you know?
No, I do remember someone coming to the apartment on April 5th when they moved out some of her things.
Now, why didn't you file for a protective order against her, the person who wrote that?
Because Destiny doesn't have, she's not on the lease. So the thing is, she's not able to get into the... She's not able to get into the apartment. They said bring the burner to the apartment. Taquana's on the lease, therefore she has a key.
No. Nobody said bring a burner to the apartment.
Well, that's where her things were.
But nobody said that here.
Okay.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She could come into the apartment whenever she wants. That's one thing. But that didn't happen.
That's because I feared for my safety.
Well, the question is, was it a legitimate fear that you had for your safety?
And later today.
She said she took my money, but if I put her name on the police report, she was finna tell them that I was probably under the influence when I gave them my statement.
Well, those two statements don't jive together, Ms. Rousseau.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Stephanie DeSalle says ex-roommate Taquana Lampkins owes her for rent, cleaning fees, property damage, and the cost of new locks. Taquana says Stephanie locked her out, so she's not paying.
So you went and got a protective order and changed the locks based on that protective order.
And also the altercations that her mother and I were having.
Her mother has nothing to do with you. Her mother, as you pointed out, is not a signatory to this lease.
Okay, correct.
So you had the locks changed so that she could not enter the apartment anymore.
Because I was scared. I feared for my life, Your Honor.
Just a second. Yeah, but there were several things you could have done. You could have moved.
Correct.
Right. But you changed the locks on the apartment so she could not get into the apartment. And that was...
No, that wasn't the situation, because actually I asked my leasing apartment complex if I could change the locks. They said I could, and then I left the key for them for Taquana to come pick up.
Listen to me. Listen to me very carefully.
Okay.
Don't tell me what the leasing office said.
Okay.
That's number one. Number two, there's only one reason to change the locks, and that's to keep your roommate out.
Okay.
Or other people, but mainly keep your roommate out. So there'd be no... Put your hand down. So there'd be no other reason to change the locks if you were going to give her a key to the new lock.
Well, the thing is that the key that we did have, her mother had an extra key, and I did not want her mother to continue to keep coming in.
Let me explain something to you. You don't look like a stupid girl. And I'm not saying there wasn't reason that the two of you shouldn't be roommates anymore. But if you're going to give her a key, all she does is take the key and go to a locksmith and make a second key. Then her mother has a key. So I don't believe that you gave somebody else the key to give to her.
Well, I did. I wrote a note to the leasing complex to let them know that I wanted a legitimate third party there because of the things of her mother keep getting in my face and things like that.
Just listen to me carefully now.
Okay.
If what you're suggesting to me is that you brought another key to the leasing office so that somebody else could go into the apartment to get the rest of her things out with her, that I believe.
Yes.
That I believe. You weren't giving her a key to the changed lock on the apartment so she could be there whenever she wanted to be.
No.
Of course not. So you changed the locks, which is pretty much what she says. You weren't getting along. For whatever reason you weren't getting along, I actually don't care why you weren't getting along before. So the question is she responsible for her part of the lease if she was locked out of the apartment?
Yes, because the key was returned to her. I wasn't, like I said, I was not trying to lock her out of the apartment because I gave the key to the leasing complex because her mother said she would be back the next day. But the thing is, like I said, they were doing things as far as leaving the front door open, leaving the refrigerator door open, leaving the heater on. So I couldn't have my property, my things at risk while she's in the apartment because I didn't trust it. I didn't want my things stolen.
You should have moved out.
And then I would have to be in debt.
You might. You're in debt now.
Okay, very true.
You're in debt now. But you changed the locks on her. Did somebody grant you a final protective order against her?
No, because I didn't reinforce it.
You didn't follow through with getting a protective order?
Because my dad had told me pretty much not to.
Listen to me. I don't care who told you not to.
Okay.
Whether he told you not to or whether you decided not to, you didn't follow through with the protective order. The temporary protective order served one purpose, and that was to make sure she was out of the apartment.
And she was.
And she was. Well, now she's out of the apartment, so now you drop the protective order, you've changed the locks, and now you want her to pay the rest of the lease. And what I'm telling you is, I am disinclined to do that. Now, if she could come into the apartment whenever she wants, that's one thing. That's one thing, but that didn't happen.
That's because I feared for my safety.
Well, the question is, was it a legitimate fear that you had for your safety? She didn't threaten you. A friend of hers actually did.
Okay, but she agreed to it. She said, bring it.
What she said to her was, I read it. What she said to her was, you want to bring it tomorrow, fine, but right now I need a drink, I need to calm down. And that can be taken lots of different ways, not all maniacal. Does she have a history of being arrested or convicted of assault?
None that I know of.
Does she have a history of gun possession?
None that I know of.
Okay. I gather that the last couple of months that you were together, you didn't quite get along.
It was fine up until April.
And she moved out when?
April 7th.
Just as what you're telling me now, it was 4 days and 4 days only that you had difficulty with her.
I mean, there were issues about her.
Of course. There were issues. I'm reading your complaint.
Okay.
So I know there were issues before.
Yes.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today...
What do you know about the money?
I seen her go up to the front desk from the video camera, and she was asking to get into Carissa's room. She needed to get a medical paper.
Real cases, real people, Judge Judy. Stephanie DeSalle says ex-roommate Taquana Lampkins owes her for rent, cleaning fees, property damage, and the cost of new locks. Taquana says Stephanie locked her out, so she's not paying.
Now, you had a 2-bedroom apartment. What efforts did you make to rent the 2nd bedroom?
I actually went on roommates.com to look for someone.
Show me.
I was looking to get my bank statements because I actually did pay them, so I did do that. But within the short notice of getting this together, I didn't have that ready.
I can't help you.
Okay.
You locked her out, and what your father should have told you was, if you're frightened for your safety, we don't want you there. We're coming to get you.
And that's what he did. They came to be there to make sure that Taquana moved out the rest of her things so that way nothing else would happen.
No.
But ma'am, I was going to school. I couldn't
want you
afford to move
there.
out at that time. I was going to school.
Well, but you can't lock her out and then ask her to pay the rent because you're not getting along.
It wasn't that I locked her out because we weren't getting along. I locked her out because, or I didn't even lock her out. I just changed the locks and I gave her a key.
Case is dismissed.
Your Honor. Your Honor, please, you're not even hearing the rest of my
Listen to me very carefully. I can't help you.
Okay.
Does it matter if she's only out for an hour or so?
I can't help her. You had May, June, July, August, September, October,
so I was going to come
November.
back every month?
I'm speaking to bring her to small claims court. You chose not to do that. You chose to pay the rent and then come to sue her for it.
I was advised to.
Pay the rent, yeah.
Listen to me. You got bad advice. I can't help you. You can't lock your roommate out and then wait 8 months and sue her for the rent. Do you understand?
Yes.
Thank you. Period.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Wait here, please.
I feared for my safety.
It was a joke. Oh, my God.
And I felt like I had permission to change the locks.
Me and my friend were joking around.
Even though she was issued a key.
She the one that made the comment about the burner. It was all a joke, though.
Just negative people, and I don't want to be around that.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Rousseau versus Forrest. Step forward.
Carissa Russo is suing her former friend, 25-year-old Octavia Forrest, for stealing $600 from her hotel room.
Miss Rousseau, it is your claim that Miss Forrest, who is a former friend of yours, stole money out of your room. Miss Forrest says she did not do that. When do you allege she stole money from your room?
October 13th.
How much money?
It was $600 in cash.
Where was it?
Hidden behind a picture frame in my hotel room.
And what was Miss Forrest doing there?
She was coming to pick me up from work because I had previously sold my car, so she was my ride back and forth to work.
Where did you get the $600 from?
I had an 85 Buick LeSabre, and I sold it for $1,200. And that was the money that I had left over from paying for my room.
What proof do you have that Miss Forrest took that money?
My witness overheard her... Sorry.
You didn't see her take the money?
No, I didn't see her take it.
Tell me your name.
Mandy.
Mandy what?
Grubb.
How do you know these people?
I was an employee at Motel 6.
Is that where you were staying, Miss Rousseau?
Yes.
Were you working on October 13th?
Yes.
What do you know about the money that was allegedly taken from Miss Rousseau's room?
I was in the laundry room gathering my linens for the day. There's a camera in the front desk, and there's the TV monitors in the laundry room. And I seen her go up to the front desk from the video camera in the laundry room. And she was asking to get into Carissa's room. She needed to get a medical paper. The manager said he couldn't allow her in there.
Could not?
Could not.
Okay, so as far as you know, Miss Forrest did not get into the room that day.
She did not.
Okay, sit down.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Have you been cheated? Go to judgejudy.com or call 1-888-800-JUDY.
Ms. Russo, other than this witness's testimony, do you have any other proof that your missing money was taken by the defendant?
No actual proof, evidence.
Did you ever have a discussion with Miss Forrest about it?
Yes, I talked to her.
And did she ever admit to you that she took your money?
Yeah, after I called the police, she said she took my money, but if I said something, she was going to file charges for me being a drug user. That's where the money went, is I used drugs.
When did you have that discussion with her?
After the police had left, I called her back and told her that I did call the police, and I put her name as the main name on the police report because she was the only one that knew the money was there.
And what did she say to you?
She said, well, if I put her name on the police report, she was finna tell them that I was a drug user and I was probably under the influence when I gave them my statement, so.
Those two statements don't jive together, Miss Rousseau. You said the police came, I put your name down, Right. On the police report is the only person who knew the money was there.
Right.
And she said to you, if you put my name down on the police report, I'm going to tell them you were a drug user.
Right.
Well, that doesn't say she took your money.
Well, I mean, she said she took it, but if I told them that she took the money, then she was finna tell them that I was a drug user.
Did you ever tell her that you took the money, Miss Forrest?
No, ma'am. I never, not once. I never took any money from Carissa, never.
Miss Rousseau, I don't know who took your money, but you don't have any proof that Miss Forrest took your money. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay. Can't help you. That's all. Put your money in a bank.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Thank you.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Mrs. Jones, the defendant was your son's girlfriend for a long time.
Yes.
How long did you live together?
5.5 years.
No, not that long.
That's what she says.
I'm sorry.
And your son was in a tragic accident and was killed.
Yes, he
And
was.
what you want from the defendant is property that you say belonged to your son. It was your
Yes,
son's
ma'am.
property.
Yes.
The defendant says that they lived together for a long time. They accumulated property together. She has given you some of his personal property, but the rest she feels is hers. And she is also counterclaiming because she says you've been harassing her, and there is some property that you have that actually belongs to her, right? I assume you would not have brought your counterclaim if the plaintiff had not brought her claim.
Right.
Is that a fair statement?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so I'm going to go to you for a minute. When did you and Mrs. Jones's son move in together?
Back in 97.
Okay. Tell me about the accident. Were either of you present when the accident happened?
Right after I was.
What was the date of the accident?
November 16, 2001.
And it was an automobile accident, is that right?
No, ATV, four-wheel terrain vehicle.
Okay. What items of personal property do you want?
He has a ring from Sealy Company, a gold ring that they had given him. Literally what I have right now is I had his work clothes, which were junk.
His work clothes, yes.
They're junk. I mean, they're holes.
Right.
I can do nothing with them.
Go ahead.
Things that I want back are the things that I was part of his life for, that he had bought.
Well, talk to me. I so far hear a gold ring. This
Their
is a court.
stereo equipment.
His stereo equipment?
Speakers,
Just a minute,
amplifiers.
Just a minute. Stereo? So far that has no sentimental value at all. What's next?
PlayStation, all his games. These were his things that he would have given to his nephews.
How old was your son when he passed away?
He was 26.
When did he buy the stereo?
Just within the last couple of years.
When he was living with the defendant?
Yeah, but everything he bought, I'm willing, if she has receipts, they'll probably fall on the credit cards that I've been paying for the last 3 years.
Why have you been doing that?
Because he was paying for her truck a lot. She kept getting it repossessed. Didn't have the money to make her truck payments, so he would make her truck payments. Then he wouldn't be able to pay his bills.
So he'd come to you and you'd make gifts to him?
No, not gifts. He had him pay him back.
Did he pay you back?
Not all of it. He died before.
Well, no court is going to go through all those bills and figure out what he paid and what he didn't pay. I mean, these people lived together for, let's say, minimally 5 years. They had a home together. I mean, I can understand as his mother you might want certain sentimental things, but let's proceed with the list that you say. We have a stereo, we have a PlayStation. Go ahead, what else?
VCR, his DVD, his nice clothing that he had that wasn't all tore up. There was a lot of Dale Earnhardt collectibles that I had bought in him.
Yes, race cars. Go ahead.
He collected all things that I had bought in him through the years for Dale Earnhardt.
That you gave him as gifts.
To my son.
That you gave him as gifts.
Yes.
Once you give him things as gifts, they're gifts. What else?
He had car amplifiers, which were at one time in my truck. He had a cash box full of credit cards, which I had to call credit card companies because she kept those.
So you called the credit card companies and canceled them?
Yes.
Go ahead, Miss Jones.
I mean, he had all of his clothing, everything that was important to me, what David was into, and everything that was important to him.
Everything that was important to your son, he shared with the person he lived with, Miss Jones.
Well,
the only thing that you said to me that in any way moves me is a gold ring. A gold ring that may have had some sentimental value for you. A stereo doesn't have sentimental value. Neither does a VCR, a DVD, a car amplifier. Put my glasses on to see what else.
a PlayStation, even small race cars don't have sentimental value for you. I can understand you wanting to have something that belongs to your son that you can keep, that you can hold, that you can put in a box.
Well,
the only thing that would be is a ring. The rest of the stuff only has monetary value.
When this first happened, when David first passed away, Melissa asked me if she could use David's things, because I had went down and got from circuit court, so I was taking care of his estate.
Let me see what you have from Surrogate's Court.
And she asked me, could she use his things,
Let
which...
me just a minute.
Of course I said yes, she could.
I want to see what it says here.
Okay.
Okay, all this says is you can act as his voluntary administratrix. Was there any insurance or any other settlement as a result of this accident?
Life insurance?
Any insurance, any lawsuit, any money?
Life insurance.
Okay, and who was the beneficiary?
I was.
Okay, and how much was the life insurance policy?
$40,000.
Okay, so you got $40,000. So that the sum total of his estate was the $40,000.
Well, there was another insurance that he had through J.C. Penney, accidental death and dismemberment.
Yes.
And that was $125,000.
And who got that?
I did.
Okay.
He left everything to me.
Fine. And you got all that already.
Right.
So why are we here? I don't understand why we're here.
Because these were his things. She made an agreement with me. She said, in her exact words, when I move out of this house, I will return everything of David's to you. And I believed her. I took her for her word, which, when she did move out of the house, she did leave the things. The next morning, they were gone.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She said, I want these things, and if I don't get these things today, I will kill your daughter, and she will come home in a body bag.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Margaret Jones is suing her deceased son's girlfriend, Melissa Filarecki, for the return of his belongings. Melissa says Margaret already has everything.
All right, I'll hear you. Go ahead.
Your Honor, I do have the ring for her.
Can I see it, please?
Yes, you may.
You say it was a gold ring?
It's supposed to be.
What does it say on it?
From the Ceiling Mattress Company.
What was it for?
He was Employee of the Month many, many times. Many
What
times.
else do you have in the bag?
I have the list of stuff I left in the apartment for Margaret.
Can I see it, please? What else is in the bag?
Oh, just pictures, and I have a pin that he got from Celia. Yeah, you want the whole thing?
Mm-hmm. Did the defendant give you the following? Necklace, charms, class ring, and keychain with baby pictures on it.
Yes, those I got. Those were things I gave my son, yes.
She gave them back to you?
Yes, she did.
A teddy bear with a graduation year on it.
That I don't remember.
Title to a motorcycle, a 1998 four-wheeler Rabbit.
Title's in his name, yes.
She gave it
Yes.
to you?
They were in his name.
Dale Earnhardt Collectibles.
No, there's only a few pieces.
But she gave you some?
She gave me some of them.
A home gym?
Yes.
Coffee table
No.
he made in high school?
No, I haven't seen that.
Your Honor,
Yes.
it was not left on the back porch. The door was broken off.
Camcorder?
Yes.
All the Christmas decorations?
No.
Model cars?
The only model cars that I know of, and I don't have them, is the cars that I bought for him, but I don't have them now.
Raiders collections?
That's 3/4 away going too. There's only a few pieces left of that.
Car
She gave me
parts, stereo, and speakers?
No.
What'd you do with those?
They left everything on the back porch.
Nope.
Listen, in the 5 years that you were together, did you exchange gifts?
Yes, we did.
Were you both employed?
Yes, we were.
What kind of work were you doing?
I was a certified nurse's aide, and I also went to school full-time.
When you leased these apartments together, did you purchase things for the apartment together?
Yes, we did.
And you kept a stereo and a VCR and a DVD?
Yes.
Okay. Is there a cash box that you know about?
That's where I got the ring, and I do have the credit cards with me.
Okay, you can give those to her. She's already canceled them. Miss Jones, I'm going to tell you the following, and then I'm going to very quickly address your counterclaim. When somebody dies, an easier emotion to deal with is usually anger.
Yes, ma'am.
You said yes. Do you really understand what I mean? The sadness, is this your daughter?
Yes, it is.
You see, it's much easier to be angry at somebody than to be hurt and feel sad, because you can vent it out. You can get it out. whereas dealing with the sorrow of somebody's death is much more painful. Whether they had a good relationship or a bad relationship, your son was together with this woman for 4.5 years, and he was a young man. So for the better part of really his adult life, they were together. They were a couple. Whether you thought they were good for each other or bad for each other, it's irrelevant. She was part of his life for a very long time. She tried to do the right thing with you. I mean, if you're talking to me about this ring, you're talking about not a gold ring. I don't even think it's a silver ring. It's a ring that says Celie on it. She's giving it to you. There's a pin there that also was an Employee of the Month pin. She's giving that to you. It's easier to be angry at her than to either accept certain responsibilities that you might feel for his death, maybe his sister, because this accident was with an ATV, an all-terrain vehicle.
Yes.
Were you there?
I was on it.
She was involved in it.
I mean, I could tell from looking at her that there's more than just grief there, so many months away from the incident, that there may be a little bit of guilt attached. Right. Maybe. But that's not her fault. That's not her fault. Nothing's going to bring your son back. Certainly a stereo, a VCR, and a DVD are not going to bring your son back.
Nothing can bring my son back. You're right.
Right. Nothing. Not the $125,000 you got from one insurance policy or the $40,000 that you got from the other insurance policy. Not a VCR, a DVD, and his clothing. They're not going to bring him back.
Well,
these are little mementos that she says you can have.
Told me before she didn't have them.
Oh, well, here they are.
Can I speak,
and
Your
I
Honor?
want you to have them. That's all. You can give these back to the plaintiff. Do you want to proceed with this counterclaim that you have for harassment, or you just want to say, listen, let's try to be friends?
No, I do.
I'm listening.
I have the police report. She called and threatened my mom that my mom was going to know.
Is your mother here?
Yes, she is.
Tell me your name.
Linda Villarecki. I'm her mother.
You want to tell me about this phone call that you got from the plaintiff?
Yes, it was a day or two after Melissa moved back home. I had gotten a phone call from Margaret wanting to speak to Melissa, and I wasn't sure who it was, and I asked who she was. She said, Margaret. And I said, Margaret, she's not here. She's working right now. And she said she promised to give me David's PlayStation and surround sound, and she had mentioned things, and I said, Margaret, I would never want to be in your position that you're into. I said, I would never want that. She said, I want these things, and if I don't get these things today, I will kill your daughter, and she will come home in a body bag, and she will know how it feels to lose a child. And I said, Margaret, I would never want to be in your position. And she just went, she was out of control, and I just hung up on her.
Anger is a much easier thing to deal with than sorrow, because she's able to lash out at you rather than dealing internally with the sorrow of the event and the sorrow of the loss.
But I was worried that she was so upset that she had, it was possible.
And you made a police report?
Yes.
Can I see the police report, please?
And, Your Honor, I also missed 2 weekends of work because I also waitress on the weekends.
In Troy.
In Troy. And my boss wrote me a letter.
I don't read letters from bosses. This report is dated in June. Is that right?
Yes.
The police did ask her not to try to stay away from Troy as much as she could for a while until Margaret did calm down.
Did the police come to your house, Mrs. Jones, and speak to you?
No, they did not, Your Honor.
They should have.
I have my police report here where they
I'd
for
like to
larceny, and I never bothered her at her job.
I didn't ask you
call her
about your job.
house.
I'm talking to you about this phone call. I believe her mother that
Well,
you had this conversation with her.
I had a conversation with Melissa when she called me
No,
3 or
with her
4
mother.
times.
I'm talking with her mother.
3 or 4 times she's called me.
Did you understand
Yes,
what I
ma'am,
said?
did.
I'm talking about the conversation with her mother. I absolutely believe her mother when her mother says to me that you said, unless I get these things back, you're going to see your daughter in a body bag, then you'll know how it feels. What kind of thing is that to say? It's only because you're angry.
They were never together that length of time either because she had left and went with another guy for a while. The first night of his wake, she had another man sleeping over. And I'd say just about every week after that, there was a different guy in there.
Let me explain something to you. I don't believe that.
That's the honest to God truth.
I don't believe that. Just as I don't believe that you took $165,000 that you got when your son died, right, and went and blew it in Las Vegas.
What?
I wouldn't believe that because you don't look like that kind of person. You look like a reasonable kind of person. And I'm looking at her, And I don't believe that she brought another guy to his, she may have brought another person who was a male to his wake. Listen,
No, excuse me.
let's not. You have an anger, and I'm trying very hard to be nice to you.
I know you are.
I am really trying very hard to be nice to you. Your daughter was involved, at least in this incident.
Yes, she was.
You and your brother, how far apart in age are you?
I'm his twin.
So it was very difficult for you.
She has
It
nothing
is
against-
very.
It was very difficult for you. And you actually saw the accident.
He was helping me.
He was helping you when it happened. So you have a certain guilt, right? You have a certain guilt. I understand that. Don't be mad at her. There's no reason to be
not
mad
mad
at
at
her.
her.
For over a TV, over a VCR, over a stereo. Listen, your son moved out of the house when he was how old?
19.
That's very young to move out of the house. There has to be a reason for that.
He lived right downstairs from me.
I don't care
with
whether we
his
live right
girlfriend.
downstairs.
With
There's
his-
a reason a child moves out of the house when they're 18 years old unless they go away to school.
No, he moved down
These
with his
days,
girlfriend.
now you can't get rid of them until they're 35.
Well, actually, Judge, he swore he'd never leave again, and he's always stayed by me. And she can even tell you I came first in his life. Always.
Well, I want to tell you something. That's not healthy. That's not healthy for a 26-year-old man to have to say, my mother comes first in my life and she always will.
Because I always helped him when he needed help. I always tried to guide him to do the right thing.
That's what you're supposed to do. So you're not supposed to tarnish his death with this kind of stupidity lawsuit. It's stupid.
That's right.
A
I didn't do
VCR, a television set should not bring you to court. You should say whether they were together a year or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. There were certain periods of time when they brought each other pleasure, when they cared for each other. She knows how much he cared for you. She knows how much he cared for you. You're supposed to just be a nice lady. So you got the sentimental things back that I think that she was nice to give back to you, that you have, they're yours. I want you to forget about a VCR. I want you to forget about a PlayStation. And I want you to forget about your counterclaim. She's not thinking rationally. Do you understand? You understand? It's going to take some time because the truth of the matter is, whether you have found another person or not, I certainly hope you have, because you're supposed to move on. You're a young woman. She will never get over the death of her child. You don't get over the death of a child. You sometimes get over the death of a partner, a mate, a boyfriend, you know, because you move on with your life and you find someone else to fill that void. She's never going to fill that void, but you have to fill that void with something other than anger, because it's not healthy.
I know.
It's not healthy. It's not healthy. Make up. Be nice with each other. Your cases are dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. Now, this is case number 7 on the calendar in the matter of Russell versus Foster.
Thank you.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
Miss Russell, you claim that the defendant owes you for the return of some bail money,
Yes.
that he wrecked your car,
Yes.
and that he burned a hole with a cigarette in your car.
Yes.
Defendant says that the only reason he got a ticket for driving while under the influence of alcohol was because you were too drunk to drive. You were in the car at the time he was stopped. That he did not wreck your car, it was somebody else, and that he has no idea who put a hole with a cigarette in your car. That's your defense.
That's true.
No, that's your defense.
Yes, that's true. That's my defense.
Oh, smart. I like smart.
Yeah, smart's good.
Let's see how he does at the end. Miss Russell, he was your boyfriend?
Yes.
For how long?
About 9 to 10 months.
Starting when?
February 22nd is the day that we met. We went on our first date on the 24th of February.
Okay. And when was the arrest for driving under the influence of alcohol?
April 28th.
Were you with him?
Yes.
What time was it?
God, it was right around when the club was closing, so it could have been any time between midnight and 1 o'clock.
Whose car was it?
My car.
Who had driven there?
I drove there.
Why didn't you drive home?
I had been drinking.
So if you had been drinking, did you ask the defendant to drive your car?
No, I didn't ask him to drive my car. He took the keys, got in the car, and pulled out of the parking spot before I was even inside of the car. He was angry because he thought that he had seen me kissing somebody else inside of the club, which never happened, and so he was adamant about driving us home.
And had you had too much to drink, Mr. Foster?
Yes.
So then why did you get behind the wheel of a car?
She asked me to.
Were you afraid of her?
Was I afraid of her? No.
Would you say on a scale of 1 to 10 you have more fear of her or me?
Probably you.
I would like you, with one hand, to pick up that desk and move it out to the corner. Can you do that?
Is it bolted down? I probably could.
What I'm trying to say, Mr. Foster, is if she asks you to drive home and you've had too much to drink, you say, if you're too drunk, I've had too much to drink, I don't get behind the wheel of a car. So if you got behind the wheel of a car, it's your fault. And if you were arrested for a DUI, that's your fault. Now, the only question is, she bailed you out. Tell me how that came about, Miss Russell.
We were about a half-mile away from my house when the police officer pulled us over, and there was 2 police officers in the car. So one of them drove my car to my house with me in it. The other officer followed us with Mark in the back of the car. They let me go to the back of the car to talk to him before they took him to jail, and he was upset. He was crying. He wasn't looking forward to spending the weekend in jail, considering that it was a Friday night, and asked me if there was anything I can do. If I could get the money together to bail him out, he would pay me back. So
he never said the word pay you back. He never used the words pay you back, Miss Russell. I'm a little bit older than you are. That's not what's said. What's said is, can you get the money together to get me out? That sounds right. The pay you back part doesn't sound right.
He did promise to pay me back the bail money.
Go ahead.
So I got the money together, I went down to the jail, and I bailed him out that night.
Let me hear your version of the events, sir.
Well, we got pulled over, and, you know, like she said, the cops drove her car to her house with me in the squad car behind it, and then took me to jail. That Friday night, she had asked me to call her when I got, you know, into the cell or whatever with a phone, and so I did. And she said that she felt bad and that she had some money and that she could come bail me out. And you know, I told her I'd probably be out in the morning, if not Sunday morning. You know, we had an attorney, and he would most likely be able to get me out on OR. However, you know, she insisted on coming down and bailing me out. And basically what I said was, you know, I'm not exactly going to hold on to the bars, you know, when the deputy comes to let me out, you know, not exactly going to refuse to leave.
Okay. How much was the bail?
The bail posted was $7,500. I paid $765 to get him out. Your Honor, I don't have $765 laying around at any given point in time.
Then, Miss Russell, what you shouldn't have done is you shouldn't have taken your car, driven your car to the club, had enough drinks so that you couldn't drive yourself home, and then, since you couldn't drive yourself home, got into a car with him when you knew he was drinking and allowed him to drive your car home. That's what you should not have done. He should not have gotten behind the wheel of that car. But you're just as guilty as he is. But for the fact that he got behind the wheel of the car, you would have gotten behind the wheel of the car and driven home. That's what would happen. Then maybe you would have got pulled over. So he got pulled over, and I don't care whether there was an agreement or not. You pay for half the bail, and you're so stupid you pay for half the bail. Do you understand? Now, you say he wrecked your car. Tell me about that.
June 30th, we were on our way to a concert. Again, he drove my car. We were in stop-and-go traffic. He had enough distance between him and the car in front of us, but he had turned to me to say something, and when he looked forward again, traffic had stopped. He slammed on the brakes and tried to merge a little bit, and the driver's side front end of my car ended up hitting the back of another person's car.
Yes.
We pulled off the freeway with the other person, and I had friends following me at the time, too, that were going to the concert with us. The woman in the car wasn't hurt. She had absolutely no damage done to her car, and she said that she was in a rush, so she didn't want to file a police report or exchange information, so we all left.
So? What kind of car was this?
It's a 2000 Mitsubishi Eclipse.
So you have insurance?
Yes.
Did you pay to have the car fixed?
No, I haven't gotten it fixed yet.
Why not?
It turns out afterwards I found out that his license was suspended due to the DUI, which means that my insurance won't cover his driving my car because he didn't have a valid driver's license at the time.
Why did you get behind the wheel of a car if you had a suspended license?
I wasn't even in the car.
Oh, really? Tell me about that.
Well, I wasn't even in the car. She said that she was going with some friends to a concert. I was working, actually, on the road. What I do is I move people's furniture. I'm a truck driver. I was out of town.
So according to you, you never were in an accident with her car?
Nope. Never.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
They had been in a terrible fight that morning. Then he shows up, gives her flowers, and insists on driving. I was one car behind them when the impact occurred. He hit them. I'm not sure how fast he was going.
Is this beginning to jog your memory a little bit?
And later today.
Why aren't you responsible?
Because he had told me that he was going to pay for it, and I said that was fine.
So sue him.
Yeah, he should sue him. He shouldn't be suing
No!
me.
You sue him!
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Lisa Russell says she posted bail for ex-boyfriend Mark Foster when he was arrested on a DUI. Lisa also claims that during a separate incident, Mark wrecked her car.
Go ahead.
Basically, I'd heard about the accident through the grapevine, you know, that some other guy was driving the car or whatever, you know, and I questioned her about it. Of course, she denied it. And once I got married, all of a sudden this whole lawsuit thing came about. So, you know, I think she had hopes that, you know, we would be back together and yada, yada. And once I got married, you know, seemed a little bitter.
I think you ought to have your car fixed.
I think I need to have it fixed too. I didn't want to pay the money out of my own pocket to have it fixed, though.
Well, if you let somebody under the influence of alcohol drive your car again, maybe you have to pay the consequence of that. I can't tell whether he was driving the car or not. You have any witnesses here who were in the car with him?
Jonna was driving right behind us.
Step up. Tell me your last name, please.
Costello.
Are you friend, relative?
I'm just a friend.
Okay. Tell me what you observed.
We were all driving to San Bernardino for a concert. Mark and Lisa had gotten the tickets. I met them both at her house. From there...
Is this beginning to jog your memory a little bit?
Not at all.
Okay.
They had been in a terrible fight that morning, so we weren't sure if he was coming or not. Then he shows up right before we were leaving, gives her flowers, and insists on driving. I followed them to the concert. I was one car behind them when the impact occurred. It was stop-and-go traffic. He hit them. I'm not sure how fast he was going at all.
How did he get to her house?
You know, I don't know. I think he might have driven there or gotten dropped off. I just saw him come in.
How did he get to your house?
He was living with me at the time.
I didn't even know that.
Really?
He was living with me at my parents' house at the time.
Oh. So if he was living with you, were you living in the same room? You were sharing a room?
Yes.
Good. Then you ought to know that he has a suspended license.
I never asked him what...
You should have asked. You should have asked.
I should have asked.
Because that's what a deductible is for on your insurance. Because you certainly knew that you'd bailed him out of jail. You'd be smart. You say, what happens with your license during that time? I'm sure you were involved in his getting an attorney, right? Did you ever go with him to the attorney's office?
No, I never went with him to the
Did you
attorney's.
discuss with him the visits that he had with the attorney?
We discussed how much time he was going to be spending in jail, considering the fact that he had violated probation, and his probation officer wanted to give him, I think, up to 2 months. And he told me that his attorney was getting him off for about 2.5 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Between the time that he was arrested for this DUI and the June 30th, since he was living with you, how many times did he drive your car?
He drove my car numerous times.
Of course. Okay. What's the deductible on your insurance?
$1,000.
Let me see. And I also want to see the estimate.
I got 3 different estimates from 3 different auto body companies.
Well, the cheapest estimate is $1,506. Is that right?
Yes.
And you have a $1,000 deductible on your policy, right?
Correct.
So he's responsible for half of that, because I find that half of that is attributed to you, because you should have known that he wasn't supposed to be driving your car. And I think you did know that he wasn't supposed to be driving anybody's car. Now, you want to tell me about the cigarette hole?
Cigarette hole was New Year's Eve, and I was driving us back home because I was sober at the time. And he was trying to flick his ash of the cigarette out the window, which was only cracked a little bit, and instead he hit the headliner, and the cherry of the cigarette went up into the headliner and burned a hole. The car's only 2 years old. I'd like to keep it in as good of condition as I possibly can.
When did you marry?
April 16th.
January, February, March. Did you file a lawsuit against him?
I filed my lawsuit originally.
Those your original papers?
Yes.
Let me see them, please. What were you suing him for $5,000 for debts?
I was angry at the time. I was trying to go after phone bills from when he was in jail. I was going to ask for half of the collect calls that he made, and then interest on all the money that I've lost to him.
Well, your original lawsuit, madam, was $5,000. That's what you originally filed. When you were here, you filed for $2471.98, and I find that he actually owes you $882.50. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Not give anybody a dime ever again.
Justice was served.
Don't be in a similar situation.
Don't drive drunk.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Chandler versus Chapman. Step forward, please.
Teacher James Chandler is suing the ex-wife of his girlfriend's son, 21-year-old collections agent Trista Chapman, for wrecking his car. James says Trista took the car off-road and broke the axle.
Mr. Chandler, the defendant was driving your car and wrecked it.
That's correct, ma'am.
And you want her to pay for it.
Absolutely.
You didn't give her permission to drive your car.
That's correct.
How do you know her?
She is my girlfriend's son's ex-wife.
Girlfriend's son's ex-wife.
At the time they were estranged.
Now, I'm going to make a guess that the son's name is Brian.
Correct.
Because she says she had Brian's permission to drive the car. So you tell me how that came about. and why you don't think you're responsible for the damage to the car.
I had asked Brian to use the car to go to a doctor's appointment.
Were you separated from Brian at the time?
Yes.
So you called Brian. And who was Brian living with?
His mother.
And the plaintiff?
Yes. I had asked him to use a car to go to a doctor's appointment. He had told me, let me call you back, let me call my mother and ask her if it's okay. He called her, called me back.
No, you don't know what he said to his mother.
No, I don't know what was said.
But he called you back and said what?
Yes, it is okay for you to use the vehicle.
Fine.
He came, he picked me up, I dropped him back off at home, and from there I went to my doctor's appointment.
Where was your doctor's appointment?
In Apple Valley.
Did you go alone?
Yes.
So you drove alone in the car?
Yes.
Both going there and coming home?
And when I went back, I picked up my friend to give me a ride from Brian's house to back home to where I live.
So after you finished with the doctor's appointment, you picked up a friend, and the friend was supposed to do what?
She was following me over to Brian's house to pick me up from there and take me to my home. Because
So you're driving a car, and your friend is driving in another car?
Yes.
So you're always alone in the car?
No, I had a friend with me in the car.
What friend did you have with you in the car? And where did you get her from?
She was the friend that was coming with me. When I went to pick up the car.
Pick up what car?
When I went to pick up the car from Jim's house, she was...
No, just a minute. First, this is Jim.
Yes.
I thought Brian came and picked you up.
He picked me up from my home to get the car. But this was after the doctor's appointment when I went to go to my friend's house for her boyfriend, because she doesn't have a driver's license for her boyfriend.
Now we're getting someplace else. Just a second. Ms. Chapman, you're going to get the story straight. I want you to understand that. You had Brian's permission to take the car and go to a doctor's appointment and then come home.
No, I had told him that I had to pick up a friend to get my own ride back home, and he said that was fine.
So you picked up a friend after your doctor's appointment, and your friend was driving in your car with you?
Yes.
And where did you go with your friend?
We went back to Brian's house.
Fine. So now you drop off the car. Where was the accident?
On the way leaving my friend's house when I had picked her up. And they were following me. I went through the desert and I hit a rock.
Went through a desert?
It was a shortcut through.
You took a shortcut? On a dirt road?
Yes.
And you hit a rock?
Yes.
And that's when the whole axle broke on the car?
Yes.
So explain to me, Miss Chapman, why you are not responsible for the damage.
Because he's saying that I did not have permission to use a car. I did have permission to use a car. When the accident happened, I called Brian and I told Brian what happened. He said, do not worry about it. I will pay for it.
Well, Brian's not here. Brian's not here. You're driving the car and you had permission to drive the car. Is that right?
Yes.
Why aren't you responsible?
Because he had told me that he was going to pay for it, and I said that was fine.
So sue him.
Yeah, he should sue him. He shouldn't be suing me.
You sue him because you have to pay for the damage. And if you have somebody that said to you, don't worry about it, I'll pay for the damage, then you'll be standing on that side and Brian will be standing on this side. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Let me see the bills to fix the car.
I also have photos of the damage.
Can I see it, please?
Yes, ma'am.
What is this lost wages for November 19th?
I'm a substitute teacher, and I had to take a day off of school and turn a job down in order to go retrieve the car. So it cost me $120.
Get that from Brian. By the way, just for my own information, did you speak to your girlfriend and find out whether Brian had ever called her?
No, I did not, and she wouldn't have given permission to use the vehicle anyway.
Well, you don't know that.
I know her.
Probably not.
He had permission to use the vehicle to go to and from work because she had already damaged their other vehicle. In fact, 2 other vehicles.
Would you describe the interior of the car, sir, when you went to retrieve it? Because I see you have cleaning and deodorizing here.
Yes, ma'am. There was a broken cigarillo butt in there and French fries all over the floor and dust from the desert. The exterior of the car was also covered in dust.
Talking about the interior of the car.
It was covered.
Did you stop for lunch?
Yes, I did.
Well, what'd you leave the car a mess for inside?
I was going to clean it before I took it back to him, but obviously I couldn't clean it if there was damages to the car, and a tow truck came and picked it up.
Well, why couldn't you clean it out before the tow truck took it?
Because I walked up to my friend's house to call the tow truck for I could do it, but somebody had called and said that a car was banded in the desert, and the police came and the tow truck came and towed it before I could get back to the car.
It's not a difficult case, Mr. Chandler. You have a judgment in the amount of $624.74. That's everything that you're suing for, with the exception of your day's wages. Thank you. That's all.
These are excused. You may sound in the matter of Fowler versus Broom. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Ms. Fowler, you are suing the defendant for some child care that you provided during a 3-month period from September until December.
Yes, ma'am.
The defendant says that you were paid. Did you know her before you started to do this child care arrangement with her?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
How?
I met her in the summer of 2000. Her son was over to my house, and he had stole some money, so I had to go and talk with her about it. He admitted stealing the money, and...
How old is your son?
He's now 13. And then again, he was not the only one.
But that's not the child you were
Right.
babysitting for?
No, ma'am.
No.
Okay, go ahead.
Then on September the 10th of 2001, I went to Tarzan Elementary School to pick up my daughter, Cayman. And when I got there, her daughter, Kylie, was with my daughter, and she was crying, and I asked her what was the matter, and she said that she was upset.
I don't want to hear.
She said that she was upset because her mother hadn't come to pick her up yet. So I called her mother on the cell phone and let her mother know that if it was okay, I would, bring her home. She said she got off at 6 o'clock. At 6:30, when she got to my house, we entered a verbal agreement for me to begin watching her child.
Well, what was said? She must have said something to you. Can you watch her regularly?
Yes, she let me know that her daughter was on the waiting list for Latchkey, which is an after-school program. Until then, she didn't really have anyone to pick her up from school. I told her I could pick her up, each day with my daughter. And she said she would pay me $6 an hour. I was picking her up at 2:30 each day. And I began on September 11th actually providing child care for her. Then on September the 14th, Ms. Broom approached me with paperwork from a company called CC&RC and asked me if I would enter a contract with them. They are a company that provides assistance with child care payments for single parents. I filled out the application and everything and then began to wait. One of the things that I mentioned to her, in order for me to be able to watch her child, I would have to enter her child into programs that my child was entered into, tap and ballet classes. Here are the receipts for the ballet and tap classes that I entered her daughter. I paid for them, and Mrs. Broom reimbursed me.
Good. Okay. Did you get paid at all from Mrs. Broom?
Not for child care, no, ma'am.
Nothing?
No, ma'am.
Well, what was her excuse? You watched the child in September, in October?
When I filled out the forms for the company CC&RC, they were going to be paying me the money. I received the first contract from them on October the 23rd, and I noticed that the rate that they were offering to pay was $2.84, which was not the agreement I had with Ms. Broom. Ms. Broom, when I brought the contract to her, she said, well, don't worry about it. I will reimburse you. I will pay you.
Why hadn't she paid you anything from September 11th until October?
Paid.
I want to get to you. Okay. Why hadn't she paid you anything? Why did you continue to watch her daughter if she hadn't paid you anything?
Because I filled out the contract with this company, and I was told by her that they would pay me. They told me it would take a couple of weeks for the paperwork to go through.
Okay, so now you've got middle of October, and they tell you they're going to pay you $2.84 an hour. You speak to her, she said, don't worry, I'll make up the difference.
Yes, she did.
What happened in the end of October, in the month of November? Because clearly, she wasn't giving you, according to you, any more money, even the difference, even if you were paid by the state. She wasn't.
Well, she always had an excuse as to why, and me being her friend, I didn't, I was trying to actually help her. She was having problems with her son in school. She was having financial problems being a single mother or whatever, and I was being very understanding of that, being a single mother myself.
Did you get any money whatsoever from the defendant?
No, ma'am.
Did you get any money from this organization?
Yes, ma'am. On December the 20th, I received a check from that organization.
For how much?
For $360. And here's the copy of the paperwork for that. Ms. Broom and I met on October the 15th to go down to CC&RC to ask what was going on as to why I hadn't been paid. They stated that I had not had a TB test. So on the 19th, I had a TB test, and here's the record for that.
Okay.
Okay. Then they said it would be a few more weeks for the paperwork
so those weeks
to go through.
That you babysat for her 5 days a week, is that right?
Yes, ma'am. I kept a...
Just a second. And how many weeks did you watch the child?
I don't have the weeks calculated, but I do have a tally for each month of September, October, November, December, the days that I watched a child, the hours that I watched a child. CC&RC provides you with this type of form that you turn in.
Okay. Now I'll hear you, Ms. Broom.
Okay. First of all, I would like to iterate that my daughter did stay on the grounds. I took my lunch at 2:30 between 3 and picked her up. My children, both of them, were able to come to my job and sit in the conference room.
Listen, I'm not interested.
All right, well, other than
Not
that,
interested.
my daughter would not be standing there crying. She called me on my cell phone. She says, I'll take Kylie home with me. And then she says, I can watch her if you want. She offered. I never asked her.
That's not true.
Which is fine. I never asked her to do anything. I told her that I had Kylie on the waiting list with CCRC, and if she, if we discuss it, if she didn't mind, she can watch her, and she can sign a contract with them, and they'll reimburse her. I pay CCRC a portion of whatever the child care is.
How much do you pay CCRC?
It all depends on what the provider is being charged. Here's a log of what I pay CCRC. She was paid. That's the bottom line. I don't owe her any money. There were things that were going on in her home. She was rather upset because I removed my child from her home.
That's not true.
There were things. She has an autistic daughter.
She stayed with, listen to me carefully, Ms. Broom. Your daughter stayed with her part of September, October, November, part of December. And what you're telling me, your defense to this case is that your arrangement with her was that she was going to be paid by this organization.
And until she was paid, I paid her cash.
Okay.
And in the same instance, just like I paid her for ballet and tap, she was reimbursed for child care.
Yeah, okay.
She was reimbursed for child care.
Really?
Not only did she, and she said, she's making a statement that she watched my daughter. We did things for each other. We were supposed to be friends. Quote unquote, I thought that's what we are. In the same instance, she made matters even worse. I didn't even want to deal with it, remove my child from her home. The things that went on in her home, I couldn't relate to it.
Forget.
Okay.
I'm not interested. You left your child there. That's the bottom line.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She's lying.
No, I don't believe she's lying.
Well, I believe she's lying.
Well, I don't care what you believe. The most important thing is that I don't believe she's lying. I don't believe that for 1 second.
And later today,
you were on City Time romancing his girlfriend in his house. You didn't tell me it wasn't true, Mr. Flores.
It's not true.
Because I have a feeling you two guys are playing with each other a little bit.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Rebecca Fowler says former friend Delva Broom owes for babysitting fees. Delva says Rebecca was paid by the county.
How much do you earn annually?
Probably about $33,000, $34,000 a year.
Okay.
That's the issue. She thought that I don't know what I'm a single mother. I'm not on welfare. I work hard.
That's fine.
And if I was not qualified for this, she knew that she signed a contract with CCRC. Until CCRC picked up her contract, I then paid her. Again, she's lying.
I don't believe she's lying.
Well, I believe she's lying.
I don't care what you believe. The most important thing is that I don't believe she's lying.
Well.
I believe because a babysitter, not somebody who's 12 years old, but somebody who is an adult, a very minimal, reasonable payment for an adult is $6 an hour.
Right. And she received that.
Just a second. I don't believe that for 1 second that you paid her. Not for a moment. I believe that she was strung along.
No.
And she finally got a payment of $360, which is here in the paperwork. Put your hand down. Does it look like you're losing?
No, ma'am.
Where is your daughter currently?
My daughter is currently in an after-school program.
And when was she accepted in the after-school program?
After...
What month was
January.
Right. So you stopped with her in December?
No, I did not. It was at the end of November.
Listen, you're a fast talker.
No, I'm...
Bottom line is, I believe that you agreed with her and you said, I can pay you $6 an hour. Ultimately, you said to her, fill out these forms because some of it, you can get back and then I can pay you the difference. That sounds right to me.
That's not true.
But
because
nobody is going to work for $2 an hour. Nobody works for $2 an hour. Judgment for the plaintiff. Quiet! Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,612. That's all.
Pardons are excused. You may step out.
There's a reason why I took my child from her home. She's very vindictive. She's been convicted of child abuse.
I terminated the child care because by December the 15th, I hadn't been paid by her nor CCNRC.
She's a liar, welfare recipient.
Threatening to have me and my boyfriend beat up by people.
She's a liar, and she was paid. She's a liar.
She never paid me anything.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Meadows versus Flores. Step forward, please.
Warehouse worker Angel Muro is suing his ex-wife's ex-fiancé, Marco Flores, for car damages and pain and suffering. Marco is countersuing for damage to his truck and for harassment.
The defendant is the fiancé of your former girlfriend. Is that right?
Yes, we have a daughter in common.
How old is the child?
She's 10 now.
How long did you live with her?
About 10 years.
But you don't live with her anymore now. She's engaged to Mr. Flores.
That's right.
Your complaint is that Mr. Flores caused 2 accidents. One happened in August of last year. One happened in February of this year. The one that happened in August, you got paid for. Is that right?
Correct. My car was repaired.
I'm not dealing with that. Now that you hurt your knee or something. Should have dealt with that before your insurance company paid for it. But you say that he caused an accident in February, and because of his driving, he caused you to hit him in the rear of his car. He says that you hit him in the rear of his car, and it was your fault, and he is counterclaiming not only for that incident in February, but also he says that you have been harassing both him and his fiancée and have written defamatory letters to their bosses, all of which I will see. Now, I want you to tell me where this accident happened in February.
This happened in Sun Valley.
Tell me what happened.
I was going south on Laurel Canyon, and when I got up to Strathern, I noticed Marco, and he had pulled up in front of me, and there was another car, a friend of his, and another car, a big Ford behind me. I didn't get
How did you know that the other person in the other car was a friend of his?
I didn't.
You didn't?
No, I didn't. I didn't. I just, when we were at the light was red, so we were just sitting there, and the car behind me kept easing up on my tail. And I kept looking up at the mirror at him, you know. And when the light changed, Marco took off, and then, you know, I was still looking at my mirror because this guy was just coming up, you know. I proceeded, and I looked up in my mirror. Next thing I know, he was sitting right in the intersection. He had only gone about 5 feet past the pedestrian crosswalk.
And you hit him?
Yes.
Now, what makes you think that this person behind you was a friend of his?
Because the way it was set up, the car just automatically just swerved off and sped off, and the other lane was
So
open.
you don't know that he was a friend of his?
No, that's just my assumption.
That's your assumption, so
Then,
I can't deal with your assumption. He's in front of you, you're watching the car behind you, and you hit him in the rear.
Correct.
Your case is dismissed. Now let's get to your counterclaim. You hit him in the rear, it's your fault. You're supposed to be far enough away from the car in front of you not to hit them in the rear. Now, so forget about your claim. And you forget about the February driving incident. Do you understand?
Yes.
All I want to hear about is the letters.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Because I have a feeling you two guys are playing with each other a little bit. That's my sense.
Wait.
That you don't avoid each other. In a big town, it just so happens that on many occasions, you're with each other, around each other in your cars. If you want to act like fools, that's your problem. You're not going to visit that on me.
Okay.
I want to hear quiet. I want to hear your allegations, Mr. Flores, with regard to the harassment and defamation.
Okay. He wrote 2 letters to the city. I work for 2 departments in the city.
Let me see the copies of letters that he wrote.
I feel that all the harassment was on his part. I didn't find out till...
I'm reading.
I've got letters from my superiors that he contacted my job before I called his job.
What word didn't you understand? I said I'm reading. Well, Mr. Flores.
Yes.
Let me tell you this. These letters are clearly the letters of an angry person. What he is complaining about is that while on city time, you were romancing his girlfriend in his house, parked your city truck that you were supposed to be using for business only, and that he was able to document it. Now, all that is pretty nasty, but he's allowed to write that. I mean, there's a lot of other extraneous stuff in here about his 8-year-old daughter and having to wait outside when you were there.
That's right.
However, if your complaint is that he should not have written to your bosses and told them that you were on city time, and if he's a taxpayer, using city vehicle to mess around with his girlfriend, he has a right to do that.
Well, if he has documentation and proof, why didn't he bring it forward?
You didn't tell me it wasn't true, Mr. Flores.
It's not true.
Oh.
My daughter.
Just a minute. Mr. Flores, that's what a hearing is for, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I assume that if there were any truth to these allegations, or if there was a question as to their veracity, because I see that you did change jobs, because one letter is written in 2000, one letter is written to a different employer in 2001, that you would have been given a hearing if you wish to contest those.
They transferred them out of there for that reason.
Hey,
it was
Mr.
justified.
Temper, take your hands out of your pockets.
It was justified, Your Honor.
So he has a right to send in those letters. You have a right to have a hearing. He was angry. By the way, how come you lived together for 10 years and never got married?
Just when things would get nice and calm, then something would always come up.
Did you ever ask her to marry you?
Yeah, I did, once.
Once?
No. Just didn't work out. She wasn't taking care of my daughter like I wanted her to.
Well, you're pretty bossy, Mr. Muro.
No, my daughter was...
Listen to me, you're pretty bossy.
No, my daughter was not allowed to go in the house. She was not allowed to go in the house when she got home from school until they took care of what they were doing. And
Listen to me.
And then,
I asked you a simple question. You were together for 10 years. Why didn't you marry?
Because she wasn't faithful.
Then you don't have a child and you don't live together for 10 years. All right, Mr. Muro, you don't have a case. You hit his car in the rear. You're responsible for the damage. Mr. Flores, you don't have a case.
Well, Your Honor.
I'm speaking.
Can I just say one thing?
No. That's what you're suing for.
But
damage to your car.
To explain my
You don't have to. Sir, listen to me. I said to you, you hit him in the rear.
Correct.
Period. End of discussion. And you were looking at another car in your rearview mirror while you were driving. It's your fault. Pay for it yourself. You do not have a case. Do you understand? He has a right to complain about your abusing public funds by going fooling around in his house using a public car when he's not home. He really didn't care about... I'm speaking.
I'm sorry.
He has a right to file a complaint. You had a right to have a hearing. Do you understand?
Yes.
Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may stay down. This is case number 193 on the calendar in the matter of Harris versus Cardisco.
Thank you, Bird.
Quite welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat.
Miss Harris, is this your son?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this the son that has 2 children with this lady?
Yes, ma'am.
It is your claim that the defendant owes you some money for a series of loans. She and your son, I assume, lived together or were together for a period of time because, according to what I've read, they have 2 children together.
Yes, ma'am.
How old are your grandchildren?
3 and 1. And John also has 2 stepsons, which were Rebecca's children.
Well, they were never married.
No, but he has custody of them.
He has custody of her 2 children that are not his biological children.
Yes, ma'am.
So you have custody of all 4 children. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
What is wrong with you? Shh, quiet.
We went through we're going through custody right now.
No. I could understand when you have a custody dispute involving parents, 2 biological parents, judge has to weigh what's in a child's best interest. But when a judge, unless the judge is educated on Jupiter, gives non-biological children to not even a step-parent, because the 2 of you were never married, to somebody else, there has to be something wrong with you. Do you have a drug problem, an alcohol problem?
I did, Your Honor. I did have a drug problem, and he doesn't have full custody of the children. It's going through social services.
Well, but who do they live with 5 days a week?
Right now, him.
Fine. So, and they go to school from his house?
Yes.
So right now he has custody?
Yes, Your Honor.
And are you in a drug program?
Yes, I am.
Did you go into a residential program?
When I get back in town, I am.
So you are not now in a residential drug program?
No, but I'm in an outpatient program right now.
How long were you using drugs?
For 3 years. After I had my daughter, I got in a car wreck and had a lot of back problems.
Oh, everybody has back problems. But not everybody becomes addicted to drugs. Okay. Tell me about the loans.
Okay.
basically met Becky in March of '98 when she was living with another boyfriend in the same complex we did. They broke up and she needed a place to stay, and she finagled her way into my house and lived with us for a couple months, and then her and John started a relationship. Then the first grandchild was born in 9 of '99, and from that point on, it started being just a big con. Every couple months, every couple weeks, she needed this or needed that or needed help with this. Then they broke up for a while, and she had her own apartment and would hold the baby almost hostage. If you want to see your granddaughter, you'll give me this. She had a car wreck in 11 of '99, and that's when she got her back hurt and started taking Vicodin and Zoma and got addicted to them. And then she got pregnant again with my second granddaughter and had her
Also no testament to his good judgment.
Yes.
Okay.
And she was born in March of 2001.
Now, when she lived with you, she also lived with you with her other 2 children.
Yes, ma'am. I supported her and her 2 children then. And then, after the second baby was born, she really got deep into the drugs. She, at one point, had 8 drug felonies on her. 2 of them were where she used my name to get the drugs. And she was actually able to con her way out of those charges. She got something called drug court, where she gets to go in and talk to somebody once a week. And
at what point did they remove the children?
In May of this year.
Were either of the girls born with any sort of drugs in their system?
No, ma'am.
Were either of them tested?
No, ma'am, so there's no way to know for sure.
Where does your son live now, Miss Harris?
My son lives in Fort Collins with the children, and I travel there every day to help him with the children.
Stand up. Who takes care of the children?
Oh, I do. My mother helps.
You work?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of work do you do?
Construction.
How do you support yourself?
Right now, I don't have a place to live. That's why when I go back, I'm going into treatment.
How do you expect her to give you any money?
In July of this year, Becky claimed she got a $50,000 insurance settlement.
Did
she
you?
went out and bought a new car.
No, I
Did
didn't.
you?
No, I didn't. My grandmother.
Did you get any money?
My grandmother gave me a couple thousand to get me a car so I could get a job.
And what'd you do with the car?
It broke down.
Did you ever tell Miss Harris that you got a settlement for something?
I did tell her I had gotten some money and that I would give her some. I did tell her that. But I didn't have any. And as far as...
You didn't have any what?
I didn't have any money.
So what you told her was a lie?
Yes, Your Honor.
How much money do you owe her?
I do owe her money. She did give me money for Christmas. I'm not going to say I don't owe her anything, because I do.
So I'm asking, how much do you owe her?
I don't know for sure. I mean,
how much does she owe you for Christmas?
For Christmas alone, $800. But prior to that, I gave her $500 for rent in November, $500 again rent for January and and I even had to take loans out from where I worked for me to survive because I was giving her money.
Did you expect to get that money back?
Yes,
Ms.
I
Harris,
did.
my question is, seriously, did you expect to get that money back from her? And I mean, you can get a judgment, but I'm going to ask you honestly.
Yes, ma'am.
Where is she going to get the money from?
She would actually sit there on the phone in front of me and be talking to the insurance guy. Actually sit there talking to him, but she actually wasn't talking to him. And she was having a conversation with nobody. Yes, I'll come down and get that check. At one point, I mean, several times she was supposed to pick up a check. She had John and I believing she got a $50,000 check. She was throwing money around. She went and got a $150 perm. She gave me a $100 bill one time to thank me for watching her kids because she'd been out of the house for almost 3 months. I actually thought she was getting a settlement. Then I find this letter in the house. She settled for next to nothing in November of 2000.
Let me see.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You didn't tell them that you were settling it. You just wanted the money right away.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, I know. But you're doing drugs. You need some money for drugs. Nonsense! Nonsense!
And later today,
if she's the co-signer on a note for your car, then you're supposed to pay for the car.
Right, which I pay her for.
Let's go slowly, Mr. Gaffney. My father didn't raise idiots.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Rosemary Harris says her son's former common-law wife, Rebecca Cardisco, owes for several unpaid loans. Rosemary claims Rebecca is a drug addict.
So you settled this accident claim despite the fact that you had an attorney. How much did you settle it for?
I think it was around $800. The attorney said that
they couldn't get any more, and if they could, it was going to take a long while.
You didn't tell them that you were settling it. You just wanted the money right away.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah,
say
I know.
was settling.
That's what you did. You had a lawyer. They got fed up with you because you settled with this company after they had made some expenditures. But if you're doing drugs, you need some money. You need some money for drugs. Look, as far as I can see, she owes you for 3 months' rent and $800 for Christmas. She doesn't know how much she owes you. That's $2,300. Has she, I assume, not given you any child support for the 3 children?
Not as of yet, no.
Have you worked in the last 5 years?
Yes, Your Honor, and he did receive child support last month.
How much?
I gave him $500.
From where?
Between him and his mother.
From where?
I got some money from my grandmother.
From your grandmother?
She gave me some money to give him for the children. He said that he needed it for the children. And I have a job.
Do you use drugs or do you sell them occasionally?
I don't do either. I've been clean.
Judge, there is a judgment now. She's supposed to pay $575 a month.
Good. That's what she's supposed to do. Somebody else is taking care of your children. In the meantime, she owes you $2,300. Miss Cardisco, I wish you good luck in residential treatment. If you want it to be successful, you have to stay there. You can't go in there for 6 weeks, or for 4 weeks, or for 12 weeks and say it's over. You have to stay there. What is it, a year or 18 months? Is that what they want you to stay?
60 days. 60 days.
Nonsense! Nonsense! Bert and I were in family court between us for more years than you're alive. And no residential program where you just go for 60 days is going to keep you off drugs permanently. You have to go into a drug-free environment for a long time. You've been on drugs for at least 3 years. Don't kid yourself. 60 days is not going to do it. 30 days is not going to do it. You have to do it. You have children. You made children. They need you. Do you get it? They need you. Stay with it. Find the right place and stay there. You're a young woman. How old?
25.
25. Got a lot of years ahead. They can be miserable. You can have a miserable life or you can have a happy life. You still have another 50 years of happiness or you have 50 years of misery. Choice is yours. That's all.
Bodies are excused. You may step out.
Becky's nothing but a con.
I do have problems and I have issues, but they're not any better than I am. Any better.
I'm the primary caregiver because Becky's a drug addict.
I never kept her grandchildren from her. I was afraid she was going to try to take off or do something with them. I didn't know what she's capable of. I mean, she just made me look like an idiot in there.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Gaffney versus Gaffney. Step forward.
Sunday school teacher Betty Gaffney is suing her son, 23-year-old Bill Gaffney, for stealing money from her bank account. Bill says he only took enough to make his car payment.
Mrs. Gaffney, the defendant is your son.
Yes, ma'am.
And it is your claim that your son took your ATM card, which you gave him, along with your PIN number.
Yes, ma'am.
And the reason you gave him your bank card was to make a withdrawal for money for a prescription for you.
Yes, ma'am.
And he took the card, he got the prescription filled, and then he proceeded over a period of time to clean out your bank account.
Yes, ma'am.
Your son says he just took money for a car payment, a couple of $100s. Why did you need your son to pick up the prescription for you, and when did this happen?
On the 15th of February, I had surgery prior to that, and I could not drive the car because the cast was on my right leg. So he took me to the doctor, and then when we got back, I had a prescription, so I asked him to go fill it, and I gave him my ATM card. He came back.
You gave me your ATM card, but you also had to give him a PIN number.
Yes, ma'am. I gave him my PIN number.
Had he ever had the PIN number before?
Not on this card because we changed it to make it simpler to remember, but prior to him getting married and moving out, he did run errands for us, and I never had any problems with him whatsoever.
Great.
On that day, I felt really uncomfortable when he came back, so I kind of slid the card underneath some papers on the breakfast bar.
So he returned the card to you?
Yes, ma'am, he did. And then...
How much was the prescription?
It was about $15.
Okay.
He went on about his business, and my husband asked me we only had one card at that time. My husband asked me a couple of days later where the ATM card was, and I couldn't find it. Thinking it was the medication I was on that I couldn't remember, I just said, I'll find it, I'll find it. Then a couple of weeks later, my husband asked me to transfer money. I called, and they said there was only like $59 in the bank. I said, something's wrong. And I called the bank back and found all these withdrawals that I knew that we had not done because we didn't have a card.
Over what period of time, from the 15th of February To what date were these withdrawals made from your account?
Through the 25th.
Of February?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, can you tell me what proof you have that it was your son that made these withdrawals?
I had the loss prevention department at the credit union, knowing the ones that I had not done through my checkbook, I had them to pull pictures from the ATM cameras. The first ones that I asked for...
Can I have that envelope, please? All right, Mr. Gaffney, you say in your answer that you'd filled your mom's prescription, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, correct.
And that you also took out money for car payment.
Right, which I gave to her because it's co-signed, so it was the car payment money that comes out of her account. I just don't want to give it to her until I got paid from work in order to give it back to her because she was wanting my money for the car payment.
Mr. Gaffney, that was a lot of double talk. If she's the co-signer on a note for your car, then you're supposed to pay for the car.
Right, which I pay her for it.
Let's go slowly, Mr. Gaffney. My father didn't raise idiots. I assume she's not paying for your car. Is that right?
Well, actually, the last 6 months we have had to pay for the car and the insurance.
Why?
Because he was not working and he was not
What
paying.
about in February?
I don't remember about the car payment in February. It's been quite a while that we have been making the car payments.
So you took out how much from the bank to make the car payment?
$300.
What'd you do with the money?
I gave her back $200 of it.
How much is the car payment?
$220.
Well, you withdrew $300. What'd you do with the other $80?
Probably spent it on groceries, something like that, because I wasn't working.
Well, did you tell her about that?
No, I didn't tell her about the $300 I took out either until later when she asked me about it.
Oh, but that's all you said you took out, and that was all on the same day, is that right?
Correct.
That was all on the 15th of February, that you took out $300 that you never told her about, and the $15 for the prescription.
Right.
Is that right? So if there were pictures here that show you taking out money from her ATM after the 15th of February, these pictures would be mistaken. Is that right?
Could be.
I don't understand what that means, Mr. Gaffney. Could be. You never saw these pictures before, is that right?
Correct.
So what you're telling me is, sir, that if I were to look at these pictures and it showed, let's say, that on the 20th of February, you're using her ATM card, then that might refresh your recollection that you did, in fact, use the ATM card.
She could have went, because she was on my account, she could have went and got pictures of me using my own ATM card.
No, the bank is only sending pictures, sir, of transaction when you are using her ATM card.
Well, if she's got pictures, I'd like to see them because I don't
So
believe
is it possible, sir, before I look at these pictures, is it possible, sir, that you used the ATM card, hers, at a time after February 15th?
Not to my recollection.
Well, I want you to think hard, sir. I mean, it's much easier, Mr. Gaffney, for you to say to me, listen, my family was in a difficult position. I didn't have any money. I took back the ATM card, and I took out another $1,000 or whatever it was. I needed it. I needed it for groceries. I needed it to feed myself and my family. It was a mistake. It was the wrong thing to do. That's an answer. If it's not true, then it's not true. Then I'll look.
True.
It's not true. You never used it after that.
Nope.
Well, you used it on the 18th.
How many pictures does she have of me? Just one?
I'm asking you, sir. I see. Are you chewing gum?
No, I'm not chewing gum.
You mean it's just a nervous tick that you have?
Must be.
Uh-huh. Fresh mouth. He used it on the 18th. He stole money from his mother on the 18th. He stole money from his mother on the 24th. He stole money from his mother on the 25th. Well, at least on those occasions I can actually see it. Some of the pictures are a little bit blurry, but on those occasions he actually did.
Your
Listen,
Honor.
does he have children?
One on the way.
There's one on the way.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
The credit union told me that...
you can't tell me what the credit
I'm
union
sorry.
told you. That's hearsay.
Well, I have a letter from them. He'd covered the... You can see where he was covering the cameras.
Oh, I see where the camera is covered on certain days when your
first-
card is being used, but on certain days he wasn't smart enough. Can I see the statement that you have from the
Yes,
bank?
ma'am.
Thank you. Does your son use drugs?
I don't believe so. I
Good.
do know that he was drinking quite a bit. He makes a lousy drunk.
You must have gotten very frustrated
Must get it
with
from
him.
you then.
He hasn't worked for at least 6 months?
Yes, ma'am.
Does he collect unemployment insurance?
I told him that he needed to go down and apply, and he never did, so
Why is
he didn't
that?
get it.
Because I didn't get fired, I quit my job. I just walked out, and I just didn't
Why?
go down there. Because they weren't supporting me, and they wanted me to work 90 hours a week and get paid for 40. So I got tired of it after about 3 months and walked.
I can understand your frustration, sir. But I had a very, very wise grandmother who used to say to me, you don't throw out the dirty water until you have clean, especially when you have a family to take care of so that you don't have to steal from your mother. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,082. That's all. Thank you.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat.
Mr. Gray, you and the defendant dated briefly while she was separated from her husband. And according to your complaint, during that time you made 2 loans to her. The first loan was for an attorney, and the second was to catch up on a mortgage payment. The defendant says you never made any loans to her, but did give her money. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
Now, when did you meet her?
It was during bowling season.
I don't know when bowling season is, sir.
About 2001.
Excuse me?
In the fall.
Can you get any closer by, say, month?
Okay, August. How's that? We were
August
just
of 2001.
Yes, and we were just friends up at the bowling alley, sitting there talking and joking around. Eventually, right
You
around
met
St. Patrick's Day. All right.
We're going to have a conversation here, which means
Okay.
you'll talk and then I'll talk.
Okay.
Did you meet her at bowling?
She was a waitress. I was a bowler. Yes.
When did you separate from your husband?
In June.
So you were separated at the time that you met the plaintiff, is that right?
No, we were friends when I was at work. So I knew him while I was still married, yes.
But in August of 2001 is when you started to date him?
No.
When?
May of 2001.
And when did you separate from your husband?
In June.
Okay. Shh. When was this loan for a lawyer?
Roughly August
Is that
2001.
right?
July of 2001.
Now, I'd like you to tell me the circumstances surrounding that, sir. You're not very good at dates. Let's see if you're better at the substantive part of it.
On the lawyer. She come up to me and she was having trouble and she wanted a divorce from her husband.
But you were dating at that time.
Yes.
Go ahead.
And I had a good lawyer friend that I referred her to, and he cut her a deal and gave her half of the retainer fee. So I gave her the $750 in cash so she could go get things taken care of. And at that point, I made her understand it was still a loan to her, not a gift.
How did you make that clear, sir?
Just by talking and told her what I
Well,
said.
I want you to tell me
and
what
then
you said and what she said.
She told me she would pay me back within a reasonable short amount of time.
She said she would pay you back.
Yes, she did.
Now, what's your version of the lawyer story?
The lawyer story is that he had
Look at me.
this great friend that worked on his divorce case, and I needed to get this started. And he gave me the money.
Now, what did you say to him and what did he say to you?
Let me give you the money. Let me help you. Let me give you the money to get it. Otherwise, where are you going to be? You're not going to have an attorney. I'm sorry, I'm not looking at you. You're not going to have an attorney without any money. Let me help you.
Mm-hmm.
There was nothing ever about any loan.
Well, why would he give
any
you
payback?
Why would he give you that money? Why would you not expect to
He
pay
wanted
him
my
back?
divorce.
You wanted a divorce. Why?
I think actually he wanted it probably more than I did.
No. No. Why would you think that you should not pay him back?
Because I didn't, at that particular time, I did not have the means to pay him back, and he knew that. I had told him that, and then this is also about the mortgage.
So you didn't get to the mortgage
I
yet.
know. But I knew that I have 3 children. I'm not getting child support. I'm a working mom. I'm not going to give up my home. At one point, I even had 3 jobs to support my means.
Okay. Now tell me about the mortgage payments, sir.
Well, she was
That's the
behind.
second loan.
She was behind 3 months in her mortgage.
How did you know that?
She told me.
Where were you when she told you that?
We were probably just sitting in her bedroom.
Go ahead.
And she said she was 3 months behind. And she asked if I could help her out. And I said, yes, I can. But again, I loaned her the money. And I made the payments.
Now we'll hear you.
I have never asked him to give me money. I have never asked him to loan me money. I never asked him for anything. We might have been sitting on my bed talking, and I was venting because I was very upset. I was behind. I was not getting any help from my husband that had moved out. but I had never asked him for anything.
You told him that you were 3 months behind in your mortgage payment. How did he pay the mortgage payment?
Actually, I was paying bills, writing things out.
On the bed?
Because I had it out, right. I was paying my other bills that I could afford to pay. I could not afford to pay this. He took the statement out of my hand, picked up the phone, and made a check over the phone to pay the mortgage. And I was telling him,
Is that
no,
right, sir? You paid
please
it over
do
the
not
phone?
do that.
I made it by Visa, yes.
You made it by Visa over the phone?
Yes.
And I kept saying, please do not do that. Because if I would have had anything to do with this, I would have at least made him make sure that he paid the right amount. Because he didn't pay the whole thing.
How much was the mortgage?
$3,000.
Your Honor, I would like to also say some other things that I have here.
Go ahead.
After my husband had left, we've never lived together, but Tim never went home. He asked me if he was getting low on his check, should he reorder some and put them in my address. I told him no, it was too soon. I did not think that this was a good idea. To go open my mailbox 2 weeks later to find a box of checks in his name only in my address. He has also bought siding to my shed that I told him to return.
So?
I also fixed a lot of stuff in the house. Shortly after her husband left.
You cared for her?
Oh, yes. I cared very much.
You cared for her. Did you follow through with your divorce?
It's in the works right now.
What happened to the two of you? Just curious.
Well, she couldn't handle my kids. My kids are very outspoken. They tell it as it is, and that's the way I raised them.
Just a second.
They raised.
Maybe they're just rude.
No, this is the way we were. We just, told it as this. And she just couldn't handle the way they were.
How old are your children?
I got 4, 22, 21, 19, and 16. And, I love them dearly. And she couldn't handle it, so she, went her way a little while. Before I knew that, she was starting to date another guy from the bar. Past I heard that she was back with her husband again, from what I heard, and here I am.
Is that true?
No, it's not.
You heard wrong.
Yep, okay.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She was very manipulative in what she did a lot of things.
That's not what you told me
But I
before.
don't loan that type of money without.
Yes, you do. You do if you're in love.
And later today.
Mr. Bridges, what date did they take the computer home?
Forgive me. Oh, great. I'm a little nervous. I apologize.
Don't be nervous. I only eat litigants on Tuesdays. Just Tuesdays.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Tim Gray says ex-girlfriend Lisa Ashpole owes for a loan to retain a divorce attorney and a separate loan to pay her mortgage. Lisa says Tim was attempting to buy her love.
Mr. Gray?
Yes.
I am usually not predisposed to finding that monies paid under these circumstances are gifts. I'm usually predisposed to find that even under these circumstances, there is some obligation to repay money. Because if I find that one person is trying to get over on another, I think there's a certain inequity there. If you care for her more than she cares for you, and she's using that and is sort of bilking you for money, I think that that's an immoral thing, and that shouldn't happen. I don't get the sense of that here, sir. I really don't. What I do is sense, Mr. Gray, that you cared for her. You wanted her not to be stressed. You knew she was hardworking, and she was trying to make ends meet. She wasn't getting much money from her husband, the father of these children, and you wanted to help her because you cared for her. You had checks printed with her address. You planned on moving in to her home. You planned on being a family together. So I don't believe that under those circumstances you would have said to her, this is a loan.
But
I don't believe that that happened, sir. I believe that when she was sitting on the bed and being very unhappy because she had all of this mounting debt, you, in a very magnanimous way, like a hero, got up, went to the phone, called your Visa, and said, I want you to pay this bill.
that wasn't the way it happened, Your
I
Honor.
think it probably was, Mr. Gray.
She was very manipulative in what she did a lot of things on.
That may be true, sir. That's not what you told me
But
before.
I don't loan that type of money without.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
You do if you're in love. You do if you're in love. You say, I want us to be together, and I want us to have a future together, and I don't want you to be stressed, and I want to show you that I can help take care of you, and that's what I'm going to do. And I believe that's what you did, Mr. Gray. And while my rulings usually do not go this way, I don't believe she was being manipulative. I believe that you were being in love and reacting appropriately, and unfortunately it didn't work out.
Maybe
you say
I
it was
was.
because of your kids. Maybe it was. But certainly, I don't believe she was being manipulative. I think that in the time that you were together, I think that she probably cared for you. Is that true?
Well, she cared, but she also agreed that she would pay me back.
I don't believe that, Mr. Gray. Your case is dismissed.
Audience are excused. You may step out.
They're just outspoken.
I don't have a problem with outspokenness because I can be very outspoken as well.
She lied through her way and got her way out of it again.
A 16-year-old slapped my 6-year-old and left a big welt on his buttocks. Yeah.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Beausoleil versus Bridges. Step forward, please.
Doll artist Carol Beausoleil is suing computer business owner Jeff Bridges for a refund on a computer. Carol says Jeff sold an outdated computer to her minor son.
Miss Beausoleil, where is your son?
He didn't come because he's afraid to go on planes, and he just felt really awkward. And
How old is he?
17.
He didn't come because he's embarrassed. I can understand why he would be embarrassed under the circumstances of this case.
Oh, okay,
According to your
yeah, you're
complaint,
right.
Miss Beausoleil, your son wanted a computer, and he had a friend who worked in a computer store. Two of you discussed it and thought it would be a good idea for him to go to the computer store where his friend works. Are you the friend?
Yes.
For him to buy a computer, a used computer, because he needed it for the internet.
Right.
So he went with his friend to the computer store owned by the defendant and was sold a used computer with a monitor. The whole package was $420?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, by the way.
Good morning. And you say the computer crashed at some point and you want your money back.
Yeah.
What date did you sell the boy the computer?
Speaking to me, Your Honor?
Yes.
Your
I'm
Honor?
looking at you, I'm talking to you.
Sorry. I sold it on March 28th of 2002, and it was a used computer system.
Okay. And you told him it was used?
Yes, I did.
Did he give you a deposit?
Yes, he gave me a $50 deposit.
Did he take the computer with him?
No, not right away.
So he really bought it on layaway?
Yes.
Now, when your son came home, your son was 17 at the time?
Yeah.
Did you discuss with your son that he had found a computer that he liked and he put a $50 deposit on it?
Right.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So did you go down to the computer store
Yes.
to look at it?
Yep.
You did?
Yep. It looked brand new.
Well, you knew it wasn't brand new.
No.
You knew it was used.
It was a few years old.
When did you take the computer home?
It was about a month after. We brought it home.
Just to answer my questions. Your son isn't here,
Okay.
so I have to do this my way. Mr. Bridges, what date did they take the computer home?
Forgive me. Oh, great. I'm a little nervous. I apologize.
Don't be nervous. I only eat litigants on Tuesdays. Just Tuesdays.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Carol Beausoleil says business owner Jeff Bridges sold a worthless computer to her minor son.
Go ahead.
Okay. $328 is what I have.
$328 is the first payment of $50, Mr. Bridges.
I'm sorry. Actually, Your Honor, if I may show these to you, because
Why? If you can't find it, why are you giving it to me? I don't get paid to get tortured, Mr. Bridges.
Well,
she
you
says it was a month later, so let's say it was a month later.
Okay,
They
yeah.
made the final payment, you gave them the computer.
Yes.
All right, now, Miss Beausoleil, you now bring the computer home. Who made the last payment, you or your son?
I gave my son the money to go and put down.
All right, after you had already been there to see it.
Right.
Fine.
If I may, Your Honor, she actually came into this, the store to make the last payment and a check.
Well, you had to bring it in the car. We had, you know.
Oh, so you went and made the last payment.
With my son.
Fine. No, you went. You're the adult. Your
Yeah.
son is a minor. He cannot enter into a
Right,
contract.
right. Okay.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
If your son had gone in there alone, Mr. Bridges might have had a problem. But your son didn't go there alone. He went there with you, Miss Beausoleil.
Right.
You knew you weren't getting any guarantee with the computer.
Oh, yeah, there's a guarantee. I have a guarantee here.
Let me see it.
And I have this over here that I underlined.
Let's see what the guarantee is. Well, where's the guarantee?
At the very bottom.
It says all repairs are guaranteed for 30 days.
But, I mean, as far as the warranty, too. There's a warranty on it.
Listen, help me out here. Just let her point it to you, Bird. You can point it to me, and then make my life easier.
May I speak?
No.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, he reassured me, I mean, you know, because we were going to have it fixed, and then...
Miss Beausoleil, there was no warranty with this computer. The piece of paper that you gave me said that all repairs done by them are guaranteed for 30 days. You have a document there that does not have a warranty. Is that correct?
Okay, but on the day we picked it up, from that date on, we still had the 30 days.
No! You don't have 30 days. You didn't have a computer repaired. You bought a computer, a used computer that came without a warranty, which is exactly what I said.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
It's getting harder. Now, you bring the computer home.
Mm-hmm.
What happened when you got it home?
So he set everything up. The technician helped him. And then the system stated it wasn't internet ready, that he needed a lot more RAM. So that was fine. So Linus offered his assistance and added these few things for the computer. And then when I called Jeffrey...
Linus? Is that your name?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah, that's my
Yes
son's
is all
name.
I need from you.
So
So
then
he came over and he added stuff for the,
Yeah,
for the
which was
computer.
nice. I mean, we didn't think there was a problem with the computer.
Good.
We thought
Next.
it just needs a few RAMs. So then I called Mr. Bridges to tell him, and he says, well, you know what, Carol, the new modem, it's in the mail. It hasn't arrived yet, but you can use the one we have. But, you know, I just closed my business. He was open for a month. And I figured, well, we'll
Did
just
it
have him-
work? Listen to me. Did it work after Linus put in the RAMs or doodads or whatever it did? Did it work?
It was
for a day, for 2 days, for 5 days.
It worked for some game procedures, but it was very slow.
I don't care if it was slow or not.
Yeah.
It's an old thing, as my husband says. You know, when he has a computer
Mm.
and it's more than 6 months old, he says to me, "Oh, it's a dinosaur. I need a new computer." You know?
Yeah.
But it worked.
Yeah.
So what are you complaining about?
Well, when I talked to DSL, they said they couldn't, that we couldn't deal with DSL. So in other words, my son couldn't go on internet. He couldn't go on the internet.
What do you want from me? What do you want from Mr. Bridges? You should have made all of these inquiries before you bought the computer. Before you bought the computer. You bought a computer that did not have any warranties whatsoever on it.
Yeah, but he gave me his phone number and said, Carol, if anything goes wrong, just give me a call. So I did. He hung up on me. I had to call the police, and then he did.
What'd you call the police for?
Because he called me a controlling, and he pressed the button. He pressed the button.
So
and it's
you
like,
bothered the police with that?
No, but it seems like when he sold the computer, and after we had it in our house, oh, well, no big deal. I mean,
That's what happens. He's a merchant. Ms. Beausoleil, do your homework better the next time. If you buy something that's used, especially a computer, what I suggest you do is, I suggest you read all kinds of magazines, get a hold of Consumer Reports, get a hold of everything else, and make an informed judgment. When you're buying something used, it's no different from buying it off the street, unless you get a guarantee from someone that they will honor repairing, maintaining it, or whatever for a period of time.
Well,
The fact that he went out of business, he doesn't have to stay in business to satisfy you. If he can't make a living, he's entitled to go out of business.
Yeah.
You bought a computer with no recourse because you have no guarantee. And anything that's not in your contract, the fact that he gave you his phone number, you cannot amend a written contract, which is what you have, with an oral statement, call me if you have any problems. That's what everybody says. That's like the check is in the mail. You know, call me with any problems. Ms. Beausoleil, you should be wise enough.
Now, this is case number 160 on the calendar in the matter of Barrientos versus Randolph. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
Mr. Barrientos, the defendant was or is your sister's boyfriend.
Correct.
Is he currently her boyfriend?
Yes.
Your complaint is that he and your sister had some sort of an argument, and later on that day you became, or the next day you became involved, and you claim he assaulted you.
Correct.
You want him to pay for your medical bills and for pain and suffering as a result of the assault. Mr. Randolph says he was merely defending himself. So why don't you tell me how this problem started with your sister?
Well, on the evening of June 5th, 2001, my sister Gloria and my nieces came to my house stating that there had been an argument at their home between Joanne and Sam.
So you have how many sisters?
4.
So some of your sisters came to you and told you
No,
that
just my one sister Gloria and my 2 nieces, which are Joanne's daughters.
told you that your sister, Joanna,
Correct.
had an argument with her boyfriend, and it had gotten physical.
Correct.
And what did they want you to do?
And they wanted me to call the cops.
Why
And-
couldn't they call the police?
Well, because they said that Samuel had pulled the cords from the phones at the house. So my sister asked me to call the police and have them sent over to their house.
You did that.
I did that, yes, correct.
And then what did you do?
And at that time, I left my sister and my nieces at my home, and I went to my sister's house. And upon arriving there, my sister was there, hysterical, and their house was wrecked because Samuel had broken stuff in their house. And the cops got there, and she gave her statement, and I told her that my sister and her other 2 children were at my home, and to get her. And I asked her if she wanted to go to my house to get some belongings together and come to my house, at which time we did. And
So Joanne came back to your house. Where's Joanne, by the way? That's you.
And when we got to my home, we sat down and talked about the incident, and she said that she was...
Why don't you step up here, please? Let me bring you back to June 5th. You had an argument with Mr. Randolph?
Yes. Well, it was between my sister and him, but I, got in it and I broke it up, because I didn't want them to argue, it's family.
Ultimately, you got into an argument
Yeah.
with Mr. Randolph.
Yes.
Did it become physical?
No.
That's not true.
No, physical, no.
He did throw things around the house.
In the house? Yeah, the house was messed up. But
All
it had
right,
nothing
so
to
it
do with
became physical. It wasn't just a verbal fight. It became physical. Did he rip the phone cord out of the wall?
No.
Well, then why would somebody have to
Well,
travel?
when I called David, I did tell him, that what was going on at the house and stuff. And I was probably the one that ended up calling the cops because I didn't want, for David to get there or for anything that, get any worse than it was already.
Joanne, I understand that you're sitting on this side of the table, which is the defendant's side. But I want to bring you back to June the 5th. Were you upset?
Yes, I was.
Were you frightened?
No.
Did you spend the night at your brother's house?
Yes, I did.
Why did you spend the night at your
Because
brother's
I had
house
to
if you
be at
weren't
work
frightened?
early in the morning. I had to be at work at 4 in the morning.
So?
So I didn't want to be late. I wanted to go and get some rest before I had to go to work.
Joanne, let me explain something to you. You have to say things that make sense. What time do you go to work every morning?
At 4 in the morning.
4. And do you sleep at your brother's house every night?
No, I don't.
You sleep at your house every night?
Yes.
So on this particular night, you just told me you wanted to stay there because you didn't want to be late.
Because my kids were already at his house. I wasn't going to run my kids back home and then back over there. It was
How
already
long
late.
does it take?
Like 25 minutes.
He says it takes less, right?
Correct.
All right. Well, even if it takes 25 minutes, you take your kids home so that your kids are sleeping in their own bed. So you stayed at your brother's house because you were upset. Is that a fair statement?
Yes.
All right. And your brother was going to take you to work in the morning?
Yes.
Did you have your own car?
Yes, I did.
Where was your car?
Gloria took it to go to the house.
So your car was at your brother's house?
Yes, it was.
And yet your brother took you to work the next day, which is when this incident happened.
Yes.
Why did your brother take you to work the next day instead of you driving yourself?
Because I was going to lend Gloria the car, that's why.
Is that why?
Yes.
Why did you take her to work?
Because she had the kids
Why?
to go to school.
Why did you take her to work?
Because she said she was afraid of Samuel because he had threatened her, and we locked her vehicle in my garage, Your Honor.
You locked it in the garage, why?
Because he had been calling my home all that evening and passing by my house, and she said that she wanted to leave because of that fact, and I told her, don't worry, we'll lock your car in my garage, and I will take you to work in the morning.
Fine. And is that what you did?
Yes, ma'am.
What happened when you got there?
Upon arriving at Sam's Club, we saw his vehicle parked there, and Joanne got, started
You were
getting
at
hysterical.
the place 4 o'clock in the morning?
Yes, I was.
What were you doing there 4 o'clock in the morning?
I figured I'd go there earlier to try and resolve, even see why she left, because the argument wasn't even between me and her.
She left, so you went there at 4 o'clock in the morning.
To talk to her to see why she was so caught up.
And what happened when you got there?
Well, when we got there, Joanne got off her car and she ran into her job, and...
Just a minute. When you got there, did you all see his car?
Yes, ma'am, we did.
She didn't go up to his car.
No, she did not.
Is that right?
Yes.
Why didn't you go up to his car?
Because I was going to work. I wasn't.
You mean you didn't
I
want...
had 5 minutes to get in there, and I was not about to go and talk in the parking lot when my
Not
manager
even
was
to say
waiting for me
hello?
at-
Not even to say hello?
No, my manager's waiting for me at the door to go in. He closes the door after I
Stop.
get in.
All right, stop. You think I believe you? Do you think I believe you? Think anybody believes the story that you're giving me? You went into the place because you were, at that moment, afraid of him and didn't want any confrontation with him. That's why you ran into your place of business. Go ahead.
And after that, she ran into her job, and I went over to the car, and I approached Samuel.
You went over to his car.
Yes, I did.
Mr. Barrientos, that's your first mistake. But let's take it from there.
Okay,
Getting
sir.
out of your car and going over to his car was your first mistake. What happened when you got over to his car?
When I got to his car, I was telling him that why was he there stalking my sister and waiting for her at 4 o'clock in the morning, and why does he continue to bother my family? Why can't he just leave my family alone? And he said that he was not going to leave my sister alone, that it was his fiancée. And I said, no, she's not your fiancée. He said, yes, she is. And he continued arguing, and we continued arguing about the incident. I told him, look, Samuel, I told him, I'm tired of all the abuse you've been giving my sister. I mean, I've never gotten involved with you guys before, but this has gone too far, and, you know, I'm just tired, and why don't you just move on and leave them alone? And he stated that he was not going to leave them alone, and that he had a gun in the car, and that he had a gun in the car which he was going to shoot me and my sister. And at that time, I gave my sister my cell phone to call 911, and when I turned over, he punched me, he got me by my shirt, and he slapped me into the corner edge of his door, at which time I dazed out, and he continued hitting me and threw me on the floor. He just continued hitting me on the floor. My sister came on, she yelled that she had called 911, at which time he got up and got in his car and left.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I grabbed him by his shirt, I threw him against the car, he falls to the ground, and that's when the fight broke out.
Did you drive by his house at all that night?
No, I did not.
Yes, you did.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
David Barrientos says his sister's boyfriend, Samuel Randolph, assaulted him in a fit of rage. David says Samuel was stalking his sister.
What kind of injuries did you sustain?
I sustained an abrasion on my left cheek and on my knees and bruises on my shoulder.
Do you have any medical reports or photographs?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see them, please. All right, Mr. Randolph, let me hear your version of the events, sir.
Okay, the night before the fight happened, I believe that was June 4th. Me and Gloria had got in an argument.
This is Gloria?
That's Gloria, yes. I came home from work that day, and Joanne's oldest daughter's boyfriend was there, and we began to talk. And he told me, you know what, when you're at work, Gloria's talking stuff about, she's talking to Joanne, telling her all kind of stuff, why she shouldn't be with you. And I was like, well, why did she say this? At the time, her and her family was staying with us. She didn't work, her or her husband, so I was supporting them. So later that night, her daughter and her boyfriend, they leave, and I confront Gloria. I was like, look, Gloria, if you're gonna be living here with me and everything, I'm gonna support you guys. Don't talk about me, and please, not behind. If you have anything to say, say it to me. An argument broke out between me and her. At the time, Joanne was asleep in the house. Me and Gloria were outside. Gloria goes in and wakes Joanne up, talking about, well, do you see what he's saying to me, that I'm gonna have to leave and all this and that. And Joanne wakes up, she was like, well, what's going on? Me and Gloria, we started arguing. Joanne broke us up. Joanne told Gloria to take the car and just leave.
Yeah, but you got upset, Mr. Randolph. You were throwing things around the house?
Not at that point.
At what point?
The argument had escalated outside, and when she left, I came back in and I hit a glass, and the glass shattered on the ground.
What else?
That was it. Wasn't nothing thrown. I didn't pull the phone cord out of the wall or nothing like that.
Well, what did you throw the glass for after she left?
I just ran. I was upset. I went in and I hit the glass. Just a stupid part of them.
Hit what glass?
It was a big glass mirror.
What did you break it with?
My fist.
Go ahead.
Me and Joanne started talking about the incident. I guess
talking or arguing?
Talking at the time. I was kind of ready. She was trying to calm me down. I was the one upset.
You were very upset.
Oh, yeah, I was. After the police arrived, that's when David came back to the house. They asked Joanne, well, did she have anywhere to go for the night? And she said, yeah, I can go with my brother. So she went to her brother's house. I went to my mother's house.
Just a minute, but you started calling the house.
My mother called the house to speak to Joanne to see what was going on. At the time, David told her, don't effing call here no more. Okay, so we didn't call no more.
You didn't call?
No, I did not call.
Go ahead.
So the night went on. I went up, I left the house possibly about 3:15, meet her up there about 3:30. At the time, she hadn't arrived yet. I stepped outside of my car, and I seen her brother and Gloria pull up. And Joanne walks inside of her job, and she...
Did you call after her?
Yeah, I called her name out.
And what did she do when you called her name out?
She turned around and looked at me, and she walked right in the door. So I get back in my car and get ready to leave, and David approaches me. He gets out the car, yells at me, why in the F are you still messing with my family, this and that? And I look at him and like, look, this is getting out of hand. This has nothing to do with you. So I turned around to get back in the car.
When did you get out of the car? You didn't tell me you got out of the car.
When he approached me.
He approached you. You were still in your car.
Yeah, when he started, I thought he was just coming over to talk to me, so I got out the car. As soon as I got out the car, he started yelling at me.
All right, so he's yelling. Go ahead.
I go around to open my car door. He pushes me in the car, and then he slams the door on my leg.
Did you have injuries?
I had a little abrasion on my right knee.
Let me see.
The police report states that the officer saying that I don't have no pictures or anything.
Let me see the police report. Go ahead. So he pushed you in the car, and he slams the door on your leg.
Right, my leg is still hanging out the door when he pushes me in the car. And he starts to walk back to his car. Well, I jump up, and I rush him.
Yeah.
You know, I grab him by his shirt, I throw him against the car, he falls to the ground, and that's when the fight broke out.
Okay. He pushed you into the car. What kind of car do you have?
It was a Cadillac at the time.
And then you said he slammed the door on your leg.
Right.
Bird, you know I'm not very good at these technical things, so I'm going to need your assistance to help work this out in my head. If you're in a car and somebody slams the door on your leg, you know, when you get your leg caught in the door,
right.
Would you step out a little bit over here? Could you show me where you think on your leg that car door might hit?
I mean, I'm 6'3", Judge. Difference of height, but if I fell in, it probably hit me around just below the knee.
And where do you think it might hit him?
Usually just below the knee. I would say about the calf area.
At the calf area?
Yes, yeah.
That's where it would strike me that it would hit you if the car door is slamming on your leg.
I don't know I don't know the exact time that I got cut, whether it was when he pushed me into the car or when we started fighting.
Right. So there wasn't an injury as a result of this door slamming on your leg, because the only indication here is that you had an abrasion to your right knee.
Right.
Now, if you're going into a car, it's your left side that's out of the car, not your right side.
I guess the abrasion happened when we were fighting then.
Then I guess it did. So you had no injury as a result of this alleged pushing into the car, right?
Right.
But he had some pretty serious injuries, sir.
I tried to walk away from the incident, yeah.
No, sir. You went there at 4 o'clock in the morning for a reason. Did you expect her brother to be there when she...
No, I did not.
Right. And she clearly didn't want to speak to you. Did you drive by his house at all that night?
No, I did not.
Yes, you did. Why didn't you stay in your house that night?
I just went to my mother's house that night.
Right. So you were in your car. Because you could have stayed at your house. She wasn't there. You went to your mother's house and took a quick drive-by around his house before you got to your mother's house. So you were mad. And at 3:30 or 3:45 in the morning is not the time to have a discussion with her when she's going to work. You know that. Mr. Barrientos.
I also have one more thing to state.
Go ahead.
On that same week of this incident, my sister stated that she didn't want nothing to do with Samuel no more. And that same 2 days later, we went and I rented a truck. We took all her stuff out. We put it in storage. Some of it is stored in my garage. And she moved in with me, and she continued to live with me for the next 6 months.
Really?
Until they got back together.
Joanne, how come you didn't tell me that? I thought you just went to your brother's house so that you wouldn't be late for work the next day.
That was true. That's what you were asking me. That's why I answered you.
So, and you decided to live there for 6 months? Hama?
Yes.
Let me give you a piece of advice, sir. Never get mixed up with somebody else's domestic situation. You see how they made up? They're like lovebirds again.
Right.
You're not talking to your sister's not talking to you. She's mad at Gloria's mad at her because you got involved with her domestic situation, right?
Correct.
They're all smoochy-dutchy and lovey-dovey, right? And now the family is estranged all because you try to do the right thing. However, the wrong thing is to stick your nose in somebody else's business. It was the wrong thing for you to get out of your car and go over to Mr. Randolph that morning. You drop your sister off and you leave. That doesn't mean that you're entitled to be assaulted.
Correct.
And I believe that you were. Mr. Randolph, you got to watch your temper, sir. How long are you back together again?
It's been about a year.
And how long have you been together All told.
3 years.
How many times have you had the police out to your house?
3 times, about 3.
Why?
My temper.
Your temper?
Yeah.
Has anybody ever said to you that you should at least try anger management?
Yes.
Is there any reason why you haven't availed yourself of an anger management program?
No, not really.
Were you drinking at the time of this incident?
I had a beer earlier in the day.
So it's not alcohol related.
No.
It's temper related. You got to learn how to take care of that, sir, because you're going to end up hurting somebody else, or you'll end up having a heart attack and dying yourself. Neither one are very smart. In any event, on this case, judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,500. Thank you.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have seats.
Mrs. Rogers, you hired the defendant as a nanny, and she worked for you for a very short period of time before quitting. It is your claim that she owes you some money because you made travel arrangements for your family along with the defendant, and it was, you claim, her agreement that if she did not go on these trips with you, or this trip with you, she would pay you for her ticket. Ms. Stower says that she quit after a couple of weeks because her job responsibilities increased. She wasn't happy about that, and that she did agree to reimburse you for any of your out-of-pocket expenses, which she did by sending you a check for change of name or whatever that had to be done to change the tickets. So why don't you tell me when she came to work for you?
She came to work for me in October, early October. And
she was hired as a result of an ad that you put in the paper?
Yes. Yeah.
And what were her job responsibilities?
At the time when I hired her, I explained that the job was a very busy job, that it wasn't for anybody that just wanted to babysit or sit and watch TV, that it was for a person that had a lot of energy, and it was a lot of laundry. I have 3 very busy kids running around, making messes all the time, and also that we had trips planned.
All right, 3 kids and laundry is what I hear so far.
And house cleaning. House cleaning nanny was the ad that I put in the paper.
You have a copy of the paper?
I'm afraid I don't, Your Honor.
What did the ad say?
It was for a mother's helper, and with light housekeeping, 3 kids.
Yes.
Your Honor, I never said anything about light house cleaning. I made it very clear that it was heavy house cleaning from the very beginning.
What was the ad?
The ad was for mother's helper, house cleaning, child care, homework, kind of a variety of positions.
No, not in the ad, madam. Miss Rogers, don't make it up as you're going. I've read lots of ads for mother's helpers, nannies, housekeepers. They don't go into homework. That doesn't happen. Yeah, and you don't have a copy of the ad?
No, I'm afraid I don't, but it did say schoolwork in the ad.
How large a house do you have?
Not a large house, Your Honor. It's
Why don't you tell me how large a house you have?
2-bedroom rambler with hardwood floors.
And you have 3 children. How old are they?
2, 5, and 11.
Do you work outside of the home?
No, I don't.
So it's really helping you?
Yes, it is. But most of the, I must add that most of the responsibility of the house cleaning is left to my mother's helper. And I make that very clear when I interview them, that I like to spend more time at my daughter's school and with her doing homework. And what I needed my helper to do is help keep the house clean and run the kids around to their activities.
And how much were you paying her for this job?
At that time...
How much were you being paid?
$1,500 a month.
And how many days a week were you working?
5 days a week.
How many hours a day?
It was usually 8 hours a day, sometimes more.
Okay. Now tell me about the lawsuit.
Okay. When I hired her, I made it quite clear that we had...
Just tell me what you said. Sorry, don't tell me what you made clear.
Okay, I said that we're taking these trips, and I need to make sure that you're happy with your job before we buy the tickets, because once we buy the tickets, we're locked in. And so I waited 3 weeks before I asked her how she was liking the job and if everything was cool for her. And she said it was, and that she was happy and that she was going to go on the trips with us. So at that time, my husband made the travel arrangements on the computer while we were all standing in the kitchen. My husband printed this out and gave her a copy of each of the trips, so she had a copy of her own, explaining when we would be gone and when we'd be coming back and where we would be going.
Go ahead.
And so everything was fine for a while. Nicole seemed like she was very quiet, and so I kept asking her, is everything okay, Nicole? Are you sure you're happy with your job and everything? She says, yeah, I'm fine. 2 to 3 weeks went by, and it was payday, and my husband paid Nicole, and she left, and everything was fine. And then the next morning, she called in sick, the next day was her day off. The following day, when she should have been there at 1 o'clock, she called me at 1 o'clock. She said that she'd found that the job was just too much work for her and that she wanted to spend more time with her boyfriend, John. At that time, I said, that's terrible because you're just leaving me hanging here. What am I going to do with the kids tonight? She knew I had an important engagement that I had to go to that evening. And I ended up having to call my parents. They're 72 years old, and have them come up to the house so they could watch the 3 children for me. And at that time, I said, Nicole, what about the plane tickets? We can't change the names on those. What are we going to do? And she said, I have the money in the bank, and I'm really sorry about leaving you hanging like this, but I'm going to reimburse you for the money. And she said that she wanted me to bring her a copy of the tickets. 2 days later, she gave me this letter and a copy of the check that she decided. She kind of added up what she felt she owed, which was not accurate.
Just a second.
Okay.
Okay, and she sent you a check for $172, which you didn't cash. Is
No.
that right? Okay. All right, now, what do you claim she owes you for?
I claim that she owes me for the 3rd trip that we could not change the name.
3rd trip is to where?
It's to, Darren, was it to Miami?
Fort Lauderdale.
To Fort Lauderdale.
When is that trip scheduled for?
That is April.
April 3rd or 4th.
April 3rd. I was under the impression I could not change the name on the first ticket, and this is a document saying that these cannot be changed, and that was why I was under the impression that she would owe me for that full amount on the first ticket that she paid me. $50, was that correct, Darren?
Yes.
But you could change the name.
We found that we could change the name.
Right, okay.
So that's not what we're suing her for.
All right, Nicole?
Yes.
Let me hear your end of the story.
Well, when I first started working for him, it was a nanny job. I was there to take care of the kids and clean up after the kids. It changed, like, after about 2 weeks, it changed from watching the kids and taking care of the kids to being their maid, basically. I was mopping their floors, cleaning their bathrooms, ironing, cleaning up after the dog, everything. The second day I worked there, she asked me if I wanted to go on the trip with them to the Caribbean in January. And I said yes, because it's 3 months away. I was doing okay in the job, like it felt comfortable, but it was only the second day. So I agreed to go with them on that trip, and I agreed to pay for the trip if I backed out, if I quit, which I paid for when I quit. As far as the one in April.
How much was that, the change of name on that trip in January?
Well, they gave me, I have the letter here that they wrote me, and he originally wanted me to pay $359 for the ticket, but I called Alaska Air to see how much the ticket was, and I found out that he bought it with his mileage, and he only paid $5 for it.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I can understand why she quit. Easy. It was a lot of work, and you were not paying her a lot of money.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Leslie Rogers says former nanny Nicole Stowers agreed to accompany her family on a vacation. Leslie says right before the trip, Nicole quit.
How did he pay $5 for it?
Because he used his miles off his card, so he paid $5 for the ticket.
Is that right, sir?
I bought 6 tickets.
Is that correct?
2 of the tickets I paid $364. 4 of the tickets I bought with miles. I'm not suing her for that ticket at all.
I understand that you're not suing her for that ticket. You did write her a note, however, that says, Nicole, you can still use these tickets for a round trip to Miami, round trip to Fort Lauderdale, and the Miami trip cost $359, and the Fort Lauderdale trip cost $365, which indicated that you expected her to pay for these.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. I understand why, listen, I understand that you are annoyed, Miss Rogers, that she left you in a lurch without giving you adequate notice. I understand that. I also understand that for $375, you're asking her to not only act as the nanny, but you're asking her to do house cleaning, not light house cleaning, house cleaning. It was a lot of work, and you were not paying her a lot of money. So I can understand why she quit. Easy. And you did not have any prearrangement with her, even according to your own testimony, Miss Rogers. No prearrangement with her that she was going to pay for this Fort Lauderdale trip. According to your own testimony, what you said was when you called her afterwards, she said she feels really badly and she's going to reimburse you for what you were out of pocket on the ticket. That's what you just testified to. That's what you just testified to. You said you were standing around. You said, shall I book these tickets? She said, yes, you can book these tickets. And we were all standing around in the kitchen and we booked the tickets. Then you said after she quit, and you called her and you said, you're leaving me in a lurch. She said, yes, I understand. And what about the tickets? And she said, we'll reimburse you for whatever out of pocket was. There was not a pre-arrangement when you bought these tickets, especially in April, that you bought in when, October or November? You don't have indentured servants these days, Miss Rogers. Something could happen in 6 months or 8 months' time. So if your husband bought tickets on miles, maybe he should have saved his miles and bought the one for Fort Lauderdale. I think she's a very nice young lady for sending you $172. If I were you, I would cash the check. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She was lying and saying that it was more work than I had told her from the beginning, and that's not true.
If I wouldn't have quit on payday, I would have been the one suing them for my wage.
And now the next case.
All parties on Lambert versus Staines. Step forward, please.
Geological draftsman Sherry Lambert is suing neighbor interior designer Penny Staines for knocking over a marble statue in her home.
Miss Lambert, I gather that you and the defendant are neighbors. Is that right?
Yes.
And it is your claim that she owes you $5,000 because she was at your home during a party and knocked over a statue in your home and broke it.
Correct.
Ms. Staines said she's very sorry. It was an accident.
True, but she also entered the home uninvited.
So let's talk about that. You were having a party?
Mr. Brown and his wife and myself were hosting a small party that day, yes.
How was Mr. Brown?
He's my next-door neighbor. I apologize, Your Honor.
And how many people were at the party?
I'd say approximately 15.
How large an apartment or home do you have?
About 2,000 square feet.
Now tell me about Miss Staines. How did she get to the party?
I'm not sure, but she walked in carrying a plate of bread in one hand, a yellow glass in the other, and
just a second. So you saw her when she came in?
That's correct. I was standing off to the side, and she came in the front door and announced, I'm crashing your party. I took the bread out of her hand, walked into the dining room.
Shh, just a second. She must have said something to you first for you to take the bread out of her hand. Now, was this bread that she was eating, or was this bread that she came to bring to the party?
She was bringing it to the party.
Okay.
All right, she stated she was crashing the party.
Right.
I was not happy, didn't quite know how to respond.
I don't care whether you were happy or not. Your emotional state is not relevant to these proceedings. I want to know what you did.
I took the bread from her and took it into the dining room. I did not want food on the bar area.
Was there a buffet there? Is that what was there?
Correct.
What happened next?
I heard a loud crash. I walked back into the living room area. The defendant was sitting on the floor next to this marble statue and pedestal, which she had knocked over. She was very upset. She was crying, sobbing. Needless to say, I was very upset.
Did you see a lawyer, Ms. Lambert?
No.
Did anyone tell you that if she was a guest in your home and this accident happened, because clearly you don't suggest she did this on purpose.
No, it was
an accident,
careless.
that she was not legally responsible. Did anyone ever tell you that?
No.
Did anyone ever tell you that if she were an invited guest, she would not be legally responsible, but if she was uninvited into your home and was really trespassing in your home, then she would be responsible?
That's what I would assume to be correct.
That's the reason why you told me in your complaint, I'm crashing your party, to make it clear that she was really trespassing in your home.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
Correct, Your Honor.
Trying to get around the fact that an invited guest would not be responsible if there was an accident in your home.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
If it was in a safe place, unless she took her body and lunged into it.
Which she very possibly could have.
But you have no proof that she did that, Miss
I do have an eyewitness, Mr. Brown. Saw her knock it over.
Come up here, sir.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Sherry Lambert says neighbor Penny Staines crashed a party at her home. Sherry claims during the party, Penny knocked over a marble statue.
Now, had you been previously invited to this party?
I had not officially been invited, no, Your Honor.
That's what I gather. And when you came in, you said, I'm crashing the party?
Actually, I said, may I crash your party, thinking I was being charming.
Sounds right. And you brought some food?
I brought some homemade pizza bread, yes.
And Miss Lambert accepted that and added it to the rest of the party favors.
She directed me toward the dining room. I put it in on the table. And then turning and coming back, I met her again in the living room itself. We stopped and chatted for a bit.
What did you say to her, and what did she say to you when you stopped and chatted?
She hadn't seen me in some time, and last year I underwent some medical treatments and had lost my hair. And she commented on the fact that my hair had grown in and asked how I was feeling and how I was doing. That was a very brief moment, and then I turned to go toward the guest restroom to wash my hands. They'd gotten a bit soiled in bringing this food in. And there were quite a number of people in this narrow area. The statue was approximately 12 to 15 inches tall on about a 24-inch base, not tacked down or waxed down, sitting on carpet and padding. And when I excused myself and went around behind Mrs. rather than cut through two conversations, I didn't see the thing. The crowd moved and it was knocked over with my purse on my hip.
You felt terrible?
Of course I felt terrible.
Of course. You have homeowner's insurance?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this statue covered under your homeowner's policy?
No, it was not. We have a large number of fine art objects in our home, and my husband and I consider ourselves self-insured. We invite people into our home who we trust.
Well, there's no reason not to trust Miss Stames. She did not purposely knock over your statue. It was an accident.
Yes, it was.
You didn't expect her to pay $5,000 for your statue, do you?
Yes, I do.
She's not going to. I'm going to tell you why. Because while she may not have been an invited guest at the beginning, you invited her in by permitting her to remain because she asked the question. The question was, may I crash your party?
I don't recall
or,
the may.
Even if she said, I'm crashing your party, all you had to do was say to her, I'm sorry, you cannot.
You're
Instead,
correct.
according to you, you took her offering and never said to her, I'm sorry, you have to leave. And therefore, she became an invited guest. If she had negligently or purposefully damaged something in your home, she would have been responsible.
This was done negligently and
No, it
carelessly.
was not. When you have 15 or more people in a living room, the possibility exists that something that's laid out on a table is going to get brushed off by someone inadvertently.
If I may, Your Honor, for your consideration,
sure.
I have prepared a scale drawing of our living room area.
I'm not interested in your
A
scale
photo.
drawing. Just pay attention, madam. If you have something valuable in your home that is uninsured, you take it and you put it in a safe place when you have a party.
It wasn't a safe place.
No, it was not in a safe place, because if it was in a safe place, unless she took her body and lunged into it...
Which she very possibly could have.
But you have no proof that she did that, Miss
I do
Lambert.
have an eyewitness, Mr. Brown. Saw her
Mr.
knock it
Brown,
over.
come up here, sir.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Mr. Brown, now let's be very careful with each other, sir. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes, I do.
Did you see this woman go over and knock over...
Case number 497 on the calendar in the matter of Mason versus Campbell. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
Miss Mason, how old are you?
I'm 39 years old.
You have children?
3.
How old are they?
12, 13, and 15.
What do you do for a living?
I'm an advertising representative.
According to your complaint, in 2001, you loaned Mr. Campbell, who you were dating, $4,000 to put down as a down payment on a truck.
Yes, I did. Mr. Campbell didn't have a vehicle.
Now, listen to me. I didn't ask you a question yet.
I'm sorry.
And the understanding was that if you loaned him the down payment, he would take care of the rest of the payments, and he would pay you back this $4,000. Mr. Campbell's defense to this action is that it was a gift. Is that right, sir?
That's right, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So let's do the facts that we know. She put down $4,000 on a truck that was purchased in your name. Is that right?
That's right.
And you took out a car loan for the rest.
That's right.
Now I want you to convince me that this was a gift.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm ready.
Well, I was perfectly happy with the vehicle that I had. She told me that she would like for me to have a nicer truck, and she did not like my truck being parked in front of her house because it was a ranch truck. There was nothing wrong with it. It was an older truck, but I was perfectly fine with it, and it was in good shape. And one day she come home and she said, I got an advance on my check, let's go look for a truck. So we went and looked for a truck.
Okay, so she said to you, I want to go look for a truck. And what did you say to her?
I said, that's fine. So we went and looked. And it just happened to be that day we found one. And I told her it was too much because we already found out the bank would only loan me $15,000.
When did you find that out?
Like 2 or 3 days before, I believe.
Well, what were you even checking into that for, sir, if you didn't want a new truck?
Because she had mentioned it prior to this.
What do you mean she had mentioned it prior to this?
She just wanted me to have a nicer truck. And I said, I don't even think I can get approved for the loan.
You said, I don't even think that I can get approved for the loan, but I'm going to check and find out. And then you called to see.
Yeah, she asked me to go
down
there.
So it wasn't that she just came home one day and said to you, I want to go buy you a truck. This is a discussion that you had had with her previously.
Yes, ma'am.
And that you actually went so far as to call up to find out how much money you could get on a loan.
Yeah, to check my credit, see how bad it was.
Keep going.
And we went and looked that evening, and we found a truck, and I thought it was too much.
Look at me.
I thought it was too much. And so she was good with bargaining with people, and she knew the owner. So we went, and we talked to them. She got the truck down to what she thought was reasonable.
But what did you think? Don't you have a brain?
Yes.
And what did you think?
I thought it was still a little too high.
Is that what you told her?
Yes.
So you said it's too much?
It's too much.
Too much. Can't do it.
That's right.
That's what you said?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
So we signed the paperwork. I signed the paperwork. She got it to where she thought.
Well, why would you sign the paperwork if you said, no, it's too much?
Because she said she was going to put the down on it. I said, are you sure that's what you want to do? And she goes, yes, it's no problem. So that's what we did.
So that was in May of 2001?
2001.
What happened after that? How long did you stay together after that?
We stayed together approximately a year.
You lived together?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
No.
When did you stop living together?
We stopped living together approximately August of 2001.
Does that sound right, sir?
It could be. I'm not very good with dates, Your Honor.
Well, try years.
I'm sorry.
Don't get sorry. Try to get intelligent. May 2001 is when you bought the truck.
Yes.
How much after that did you and the plaintiff separate?
Well, we separated a few times in between. We were off and on, off and on, off and on.
When was the last time that you actually lived together, I assume, in her home?
It had been last year in, I'd say, June.
Is that right?
No, ma'am.
Has he stayed in your house since August of 2001?
He came and stayed at my house in December of 2001 for about 4 days.
Why?
I felt sorry for him because his dad had kicked him out.
Is he a drinker?
No.
Does he use drugs?
No.
Why does dad kick him out?
They live in an old trailer in
I don't care if they live in an old
Wasco,
trailer.
and they just always got in fights and arguments.
Right.
And he came and stayed at my house, and I said, I'm sorry, I can't have you here. I was only going to let him stay for a couple days. And
You know,
it
there
looked
was
like
some
he
other
getting
trouble
very
with him, too, was there not, Miss Mason, that you seemed to allude to in your complaint, people looking for him for money?
Yes.
When was that?
It was in September of 2001. The first case was he owed some money for a horse, and I had given him the money already. It was a horse for my daughter, and I wasn't aware that he hadn't paid the man. And he came in my house hostile, and I said, I'm sorry, I don't know where Jeff is at. And I own a 30-foot camping trailer at Aljo with 2 pop-outs, and the guy did not believe me that it was mine. And so I had to literally pull out my paperwork of the lease and show it to him that it was not Jeff's, because he wanted to put a lien against it. Then we had a girl come to the door. She threatened to tear my vehicle apart and repossess anything that I had, because he told her it was his home, his vehicles, and he felt sorry for me and my children, so he was letting us stay there. And that's how he got people to let him live in their homes.
You mean and after this you let him come back to your house in December? Why?
I felt sorry for him.
He already left you holding the bag for $4,000. Why would you feel sorry for him?
I'm just a nice person.
Okay. Who are you?
I'm his ex-girlfriend. Part of this is true and part of it's not true. Jeff and I got together early November of 2001. We were together for approximately a month. Dina came to my home and started calling my home, harassing him, calling him, wanting him back.
Wanting him back or wanting her money?
Wanting him back. She did
Really?
not want money. She never brought up anything about money for the longest time.
Did you speak to her?
Yes, I did.
Well, tell me about the conversation you had with her in November of 2001.
That they were still together. He was living with her. She wanted to know who I was, what was going on between us. And I
Was
said,
he living at your house?
Yes, he was, ma'am.
How much rent was he giving you?
Nothing.
Where did you meet him?
I met him through a friend. We knew quite a few people that were mutual friends.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a cashier.
What does he do for a living?
He's works in the oil fields.
Doing what?
Tearing down the big pumping units.
How often does he do that?
Well, Monday through Friday.
Then what does he do with his money?
He spends it.
On what?
Dirt bikes.
What else?
Clothing, dirt bikes. We eat out.
What else?
That's about it.
Really? I doubt that. I have a good nose for that. Somebody who works construction makes a lot of money, and unless he's supporting a whole gaggle of children, there are only a few things that you get addicted to that prevent you from providing for your own sustenance, like rent and food and clothing and cars and other things. One of them's gambling. I assume he's not a gambler, is that right?
No.
And then there are a couple of other things that you can become addicted to that also take a lot of money.
Ma'am, his dirt bike takes a lot of money.
How much did he pay for the dirt bike?
I don't know how much he paid for the dirt bike. He had it before we got together.
When you say it takes a lot of money, how much is a lot of money?
Well, he's quite frequent with blowing them up, and he spent, I know, of at least 1,000 or more at a time rebuilding it.
What do you mean he blows them up? What does that mean?
He rides them hard and blows the motors up.
Do you have children?
Yes, I do.
How many children do you have?
I have 2.
How old are they?
9 and 4.
Why would you want them around somebody who has a fried brain?
Because I don't believe that he has a fried brain.
He does. He does. He's an amoral person who has a fried brain because he's over 25 years old. He sucks off women, vulnerable women with children who are really trying to, you know, they're living from hand to mouth because it doesn't look to me as if you're a trust fund child. Right? So he's sucking off you. He sucked off her. Whenever he gets some money, he blows it on things for himself, and then he doesn't treat those things with any kind of respect. According to you, he'll spend $1,000 on a dirt bike, and he rides it hard and blows up the motor. Well, that's something that somebody might do if they were 15, but not somebody who's in their mid-30s, unless they get women to take care of them and support them. Then he can take all the money he gets from his construction and oil stuff and do with it whatever he wants. Whatever toys he wants to play with, and whatever things that he needs to make him feel good. So if you want to expose your children to a person with that kind of character, that's your problem. That doesn't make you very smart. Do you understand?
Yes.
She wasn't very smart. She got snookered for $4,000. But you're not going to get it back because you got snookered for it. You gave it to him. You didn't loan him this money. He said he wanted it, and you said, I'm going to give it to you. You want to know how I know that? Because if in December of 2001 somebody who had snookered me out of $4,000 and made a fool out of me came to my house and said, I need a place to stay, I would have called the police and said, I have somebody trying to get into my house. Get him away from here.
Ma'am.
That's why. Yes.
On that, as far as that goes, Dina called my cell phone and begged him to come back to her. He was living with me at the time.
Listen, my dear, I've been around a little longer than you have. My eyesight isn't so good. I look at him, and I see nothing that I would wipe my feet on. Do you understand?
Yes.
So the fact that the two of you seem to be enthralled with him, maybe he has some hidden attribute that certainly I don't see, You want him? That's your business. There was no loan. You bought him a truck. Get over it. Your case is dismissed.
Thanks, Doc.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He was hoping he wouldn't have to put it down.
She just thought she had to have a nicer vehicle in front of her house. Well, she had one for a while. Now she don't.
He said he would give it back to me in a couple days. It never happened.
Just got tired of her and the crap.
He got so much self-confidence having the vehicle, he ended up with about 4 girlfriends to go with it.
I'd rather be with my bikes. I'm an adrenaline junkie.
Date someone who has responsibility.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Cleary versus Gray. Step forward, please.
Homemaker Sandy Cleary and her son, 5-year-old Nicholas, are suing their neighbor, accounts receivable clerk Cynthia Gray. Sandy claims Cynthia's dog bit Nicholas in the face.
Miss Cleary, this is your little boy?
Yes.
What's your name?
Nicholas.
Nicholas, why don't you come up here? You're going to sit right up here next to me.
Jay, hold on. There you go.
Nicholas, how old are you?
5.
You know who I am?
It's Judy.
Right. Do you ever watch me on television? You know what it is to be in court? Is this court where you are now? Okay. You know you have to tell the truth when you're in court, right? Okay, Nicholas, you just sit there. I'll be back to you.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
The fence doesn't work too well. The gate doesn't work too well. Where were you?
It happened so quickly.
So where was he when it happened?
The gate had opened, he went inside.
And you weren't close enough, Miss Cleary.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Sandy Cleary says neighbor Cynthia Gray's dog bit her 5-year-old son Nicholas in the face.
Show me where you were bitten, Nicholas.
On my nose.
On your nose? Looks okay to me. Is it all better now? It's all better? Good. Miss Cleary, you and the defendant are neighbors, and according to your complaint, one of her dogs bit your son.
Correct.
You want her to pay you $5,000 for whatever. Pain, suffering, a whole bunch of other things. How far away do you live from Miss Gray?
We have an apartment complex that we live in, and there's a home dividing Cindy's home to our apartment complex.
She lives in a private house?
Correct.
With a yard?
Correct.
With a fenced yard?
Yes.
How high is the fence?
It's probably about Nicholas's height, maybe a little bit taller.
And what kind of dogs does she have?
She has a medium-sized dog, mixed breed, and a little Chihuahua-sized dog.
Okay, and her dogs are behind the fence?
Correct.
Always behind the fence, unless she's walking them.
Well, not so correct on that one. Sometimes the dogs are free to either get out with the children also in the neighborhood to go in.
No, the children don't go in, I assume, unless their parents are with them.
Well, Cindy has also a young son, and my children, as well as other neighborhood children, have been able to go into the backyard to see if he's there to play.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Versus the front door, actually.
No, but you wouldn't allow your 5-year-old to go there.
No.
Of course not. So, on what date was Nicholas bitten?
September 10th.
And where were you?
I was in the front yard of our apartment complex.
And who was with Nicholas?
His little friend, Lily.
How old is Lily?
She's the same age.
So you have 2 5-year-olds, and you were watching them?
Yes.
Well, tell me what happened.
Well, what happened was Nicholas and Lily both had asked if they could go see Nina and Riley.
Nina and Riley are the 2 dogs?
The 2 dogs, correct.
Yes.
And I said that would be okay, but it didn't look as if anybody was home and to please not go into the fence, as children always do. And he said okay, and the last I knew, he went to go and see the dogs and then started screaming.
Just a minute. When he and Lily, also age 5, went over to the defendant's home, could you see your son?
No, Your Honor, I could not.
Why not?
Because, I mean, it's very close quarters. Her driveway goes back a little further than where ours does.
Yes.
It happened very quickly. My older son had also gone over there with them.
Where's your older son?
He's not here today. He didn't see what happened as well.
Then I don't need him here. So what you're saying is your son went into her yard?
Yes. The gate has never been a real well-shutting gate.
That's not the issue, whether it's shut well or not. Ms. Cleary, you are the parent.
Correct.
You have a responsibility. You have a 5-year-old child. Your 5-year-old child should not be out of your sight when playing out in the street. And if your 5-year-old child comes to you and says, I want to go and play with the 2 dogs, and you believe, as you said, that the defendant is not home or that nobody is home, you get off your duff and you get up and you say, you want to go and see the dogs, I will go with you.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Madam, this is your fault. This is not the defendant's fault. She has 2 dogs. Her dogs are behind a fence, well protected. If your son hadn't gone into the yard, your son would not have gotten bitten. And you just told me that the fence doesn't work too well, the gate doesn't work too well. Where are you? I mean, you're out talking to a friend? It's your job to watch him. And if you were negligent in taking care of your own son, don't blame anybody else.
Your Honor, I am not blaming anybody else. It happened so quickly. I instructed him that he could only pet the dogs over the fence, as he always does. The children and him, they always pet the dogs.
So where was he when it happened?
The gate had opened. He went inside.
Then you weren't close enough, Miss Cleary.
I disagree, Your Honor, but...
Well, that's your prerogative to disagree. I'm telling you, it's your fault. It's not her fault. Your son went into her property, and you were outside, and it's your responsibility to take care of your child. It's not her responsibility to take care of your child, and you had the opportunity to do that by taking him by the hand with his friend Lily, walking him over to the fence, saying, I want to go and pet the dogs. Fine, don't go into the yard, because you don't know what 2 5-year-olds do. 2 5-year-olds don't always have judgment. And this is a situation where you're looking to blame somebody else for your negligence, malfeasance, lack of proper parenting, and you're not going to do that here. Your case is dismissed. You were wonderful, Nicholas. Goodbye.
These are excuses you made.
Ms. Sewell, the defendant is your former husband.
Yes, ma'am.
You've been divorced for how many years?
2 years, ma'am.
How long were you married?
8 years.
Do you have children?
No, ma'am.
Who was the plaintiff in the divorce?
I was.
What were the grounds for divorce?
Scott and I were married for 8 years, but 6 years into the marriage, he drinks and he beat me badly, and I've got metal in my face where I had a face rebuild. And he begged me after I came out of the hospital and he came out of jail to have him back, and he would not drink and he would go to anger management, which he did.
Don't speak. After your divorce?
Yes, ma'am.
Your claim is that you bailed him out of jail twice.
Yes, first time in April.
You bailed him out of jail after the divorce.
Yes, ma'am.
And the charge at that time was what?
Battery on his girlfriend.
And he paid you back?
Yes, ma'am, he did.
And then he called you again when?
September.
Because he had been
arrested for 2 counts of battery.
Battery this time, but not against his girlfriend, against, according to you, somebody else.
Yes, his brother and his niece.
And again, you bailed him out. But this time, you also hired an attorney for him, and you claim that he did not pay you back either for the bail or the attorney.
No, ma'am.
And that he had promised to pay you back. Now, Mr. Sewell says, yes, he acknowledges that he said he would pay you back for the bail, which was how much?
$500 and a $5,000 life insurance.
$500 bail?
Yes, ma'am.
And you also claim the attorney's fees that he promised to pay you back for, and that was in what amount?
It was $5,000.
Did you pay $5,000?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Sewell says that the attorney was your idea, not his. You hired the... That's his defense. You hired the attorney. And in addition, he says that's an awful lot of money because when he got out of jail, after you had bailed him out for the second time, he met with the attorney once. The attorney didn't show up on the adjourned date. The charges were dismissed probably because his brother and girlfriend didn't show up. He convinced them not to. Is that right?
No, they didn't show up because they had no case against me.
Oh, you are a poor victim, Mr. Sewell.
I was.
You were a victim the first time you put her in the hospital?
Nope.
Put her in the hospital.
Well, she attacked me first. And
when were you in the hospital?
Never.
In 2005, is that when the assault took place, or 2004?
On me?
Yes.
2002.
2002. You were not hospitalized in 2002 because of her assault on you?
No.
What was the nature of your assault on her, Mr. Sewell?
I came home late. I've been drinking. As soon as I opened the door, she went off on me. And
what did you do to her, sir?
I just snapped and started swinging.
You snapped because you were drunk?
Yes.
That would be an assault, sir. Now, then you were arrested for assaulting your girlfriend.
Yes.
Did you plead no contest to that?
No, I pled guilty. That was all my fault. Same thing, drinking and fighting.
And when you went to the party at your brother's house, were you drinking?
Yes, but so was he.
I don't care if he was. He doesn't have the same kind of problem you do.
Well, he's the one that hit me. I didn't hit nobody that day.
You were in serious trouble at the time of that third arrest, sir. That would have been probably at least your second felony, but third arrest that I know about. There are probably more that I don't even want to go into. What kind of work do you do, Mr. Sewell?
Air conditioning.
Air conditioning what?
Service. Air conditioning. Homes.
You work for somebody else or yourself?
Both.
How long have you maintained the same job with an employer?
8 years was the longest.
How long ago?
Oh, that was in the 80s.
What about now?
I sub out and I work for myself. I make more money that way.
So you don't have an employer now, you work for yourself?
Right now I am.
For how many years?
The last 15.
The last 15 years you've been working for yourself?
Off and on, yes.
When was the last time you filed tax returns?
Every year I do.
Did you file them this past year?
Yes.
How much did you earn?
Right around 30 grand or so.
You have any children, Mr. Sewell?
All grown, yes.
How old are they?
I got 6. I don't even know all their ages. 27 and down.
When was the last time you saw any of your children?
A year ago.
Do you think your life is a success, Mr. Sewell?
No, I don't.
It is not. It is a monumental failure. And you know, I suspect it's a monumental failure because you drink.
That's always been the trouble.
Well, why don't you do something about it, sir? How old are you?
47.
47. Well, statistically speaking, unless you get hit by a bus or a car or something else happens to you of a fortuitous nature, you have probably another 30 years to live, unless there's cirrhosis of your liver does you in earlier. So don't you think you ought to do something about your drinking, Mr. Sewell?
I'm content with my life. I like working. I like having a beer after work. I'm probably never going to change.
What do you do for a living, madam?
I work for the publisher of a magazine.
Had you been married before?
Yes, ma'am.
For how long?
9 years.
You understand that he is a monumental loser?
Yes, ma'am.
And that bailing him out the first time after your divorce was a big mistake?
Yes, ma'am.
And bailing him out the second time was a bigger mistake?
Yes, but I just kept praying, like we do, that people will change.
No,
but
no. Let me
explain
explain something to you. Men don't pray that women will change. Women pray that men will change. And I remember either saying or seeing or something, a little card that says, don't try to teach a pig to sing. It doesn't work and it annoys the pig. Women do it all the time with different gradations of change. Some would like them neater, some would like them more punctual, some would like them more affectionate, remember the birthday. You just wanted to stop beating you. Miss Sewell, let me see the lawyer's bill, please. And your canceled check to the lawyer.
I've got the credit card statements where it's been actually added to my credit cards. I didn't have any cash.
No.
Why?
We went to mediation. She wouldn't accept it. I tried to. They tried to. She wouldn't accept it.
You mean she wouldn't accept the $500 that you wanted to pay her for the bail? You mean she wouldn't accept it because she wanted the attorney's fees as well?
She wanted everything, yes.
Well, that sounds right. They were the attorney's fees for you, right?
I didn't ask for it. I never asked for it.
What did he say, Miss Sewell?
What did he say when he went to jail? He said, do anything it takes to get me out of here. Anything it takes. Get me out. I'll never see daylight. And then in the morning, he'd asked us to go and pick up his truck because his firm would want the truck collected because he was in jail and couldn't go to work. So Gary and I went round to collect the truck.
Who's Gary?
This is what used to be Scott's best friend.
Go ahead.
And we were at the house after we came back and he called from the jail. And I was holding the phone up because he wanted to speak to both of us because I told him Gary was there. And he'd said on the phone, she needs to get me an attorney before 10 o'clock. I'm in court at 10 o'clock. And he said...
Step up. Your last name, sir?
That's a lie.
Baumgartner.
Mr. Baumgartner, you heard that statement? She needs to get me an attorney?
That's a lie. I was in jail. How
Don't
can
listen to me. I don't want to hear you say anything until I look in your direction and ask you a question. How long had you been his best friend, sir?
Oh, approximately 10 months.
How did you know him? Were you a drinking partner?
Well, yes, kind of, but not as bad as him.
But a drinking buddy?
Yes, I have a friend owns a little neighborhood pub.
That he's in drinking every day and he's not as bad as me. I'm out working every day. What do you mean he's not as bad as me?
Didn't you hear what I said, sir? I said, I don't want to hear your voice until I ask you a question. For my own information, this attorney met with, I assume, the two of you.
Met with me first because he was in jail and I had to go and retain him.
Okay, how did you find him?
In the Yellow Pages.
So you went to see him?
Yes, ma'am.
And how much time did he spend with you?
About 45 minutes.
And then the second time he saw you, you were with him?
Yes, when he was released from the court, we had to go to his office.
And how long were you with him then?
About 10 minutes.
Did you ever see him again?
No.
Did you ever see him again?
No, I didn't.
And what you're telling me is for that less than an hour, you paid him $5,000.
Yes, ma'am.
This is what I'm going to suggest that you do. You have to pay her the $5,000 because it was taken out of her credit card. I am holding that check until the two of you compose a letter to the Bar Association in the state of Florida, filing a formal complaint against this attorney for taking $5,000 for less than 1 hour's worth of work when he did not make a court appearance. Have you asked him for any of that money back?
He did make the final court appearance with him.
How many court appearances did he make with you?
The last day when I was going to be completely done with the judge. I was going back every month checking in with the judge because I was going to anger management.
Well, had you been in touch with the
he
attorney?
showed
Listen
up.
to me. Had you been in touch with the attorney in between? You mean he just showed up on that last date?
Yes. But he wasn't needed for anything. It had nothing to do with the case I was arrested for. It had nothing to do with that.
Well, what was he there for?
I have no idea. I didn't need him for nothing. This was about a case against my girlfriend that this was the final day to meet the judge and be done with it. And the money that she paid the attorney for that, he gave back to her. He gave her $2,500 back.
How much money did you pay the attorney in total?
$7,500 because of his previous record. He said that he wouldn't take the case on and less than that. And he took on the case that had already been pled, and then...
So he took on both. All right, I feel better now. I feel better now. Now I'm getting it. Okay, because it would have been outrageous and unconscionable for him to charge you $5,000 for less than 1 hour's work. However, I have a feeling that there's more work involved here than I was originally presented with. You have to pay her back the money, sir. Do you understand?
I didn't ask for it. Yes, I understand.
Yes, I believe that you did. I believe that you probably had a very bad hangover. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That's all. Miss Johnson, this is your daughter, and Miss Scott, this is your son. According to what I've read, your daughter was dating the defendant's son. You let her use the family car.
Yes.
Because they were going out. They went out after they were finished with their date or whatever they were doing that evening. Your daughter let the defendant's son drive your car. He had an accident and the car was damaged. You want Miss Scott to pay for it.
Correct.
That's what the case is about. How old are you?
16.
How old are you?
16.
Who's older? Raise your hand. What kind of a driver's license do you have? Or did you have at the time of this accident?
What do you mean?
Did you have a permit? Did you have a full license? What kind of driver's license did you have?
I had my license, but my 3 months weren't all the way up yet.
What does that mean, Tristan?
That I wasn't supposed to have anyone else in the car.
Unless it's an adult.
Right.
If you had an adult in the car, you could drive. Yes?
Yes.
And when was your probationary period up?
I'm not exactly sure. I don't remember the day exactly.
Well, let's try to remember. When did you get your license?
November, I think.
When did this accident happen?
In November.
No, I think you got your... I think she got her birthday's in June, and you had to wait 30 days, and I believe she got her license probably 45 days after her birthday. And then there was a 3-month period she could drive with an adult or by herself, but she couldn't have anybody in the car under 21.
Okay. And this accident happened during that period of time,
Yes.
when she was on probationary period.
Right.
And you let her take the car during this probationary period.
Yes.
And you let her take the car, according to you, knowing that she was picking up the boyfriend.
Yes.
And they were going to the mall, bowling or something?
Yes.
Why did you do that, Miss Johnson?
Bad decision.
Put your hand down. Very bad decision.
Yes, it was.
You allowed your daughter to do something that was against the law.
Yes.
Now, where did you go that evening?
Went to the mall, and we went to Dairy Queen, and we was on our way to the bowling alley.
Could you speak up, please?
To the mall, then we went to Dairy Queen, then we was on our way to the bowling alley.
What were you doing driving the car? Because you have no license.
And we left the mall, and she wasn't feeling well, so
What was wrong with her?
I guess she had a headache.
You have a headache that night?
Yes.
So did you say to her, I don't have a driver's license?
No, ma'am.
And what happened?
When we got on...
Could you keep your voice up? Why do I have to strain to hear you?
We was driving on 7th Street.
No, we weren't driving. You were driving.
Yeah, well, I was driving on 7th Street, and then there's some cars parked in the no parking zone, and I hit one of them.
You didn't hit it because it was parked in the no parking zone, right?
No, ma'am.
Wasn't the car's fault.
No.
It was your fault.
Yes.
Right. How much damage was done to the car?
$4,000. I have pictures.
I'll look at the pictures. Ooh, nasty. Now, Miss Scott, were you home when your son went out that evening?
Yes.
She picked him up in the car?
Yes. She had done that on numerous occasions before.
Did you give your son permission to drive the car?
Absolutely not.
At the time that she picked him up, did you know she was on probation?
No.
You did not know that?
No, I did not know till the night this happened.
The night that this happened, you got a call from the police that there had been an accident?
No, I got a call from my son immediately after it happened to get to the scene because they had had a bad accident.
Now, Miss John,
That's not quite true. She did not pick him up. They met at the mall, and they were having dinner at the mall and going to the bowling alley, and she was to drop him off.
Is that what happened?
Yes.
So you met at the mall?
Yes.
Who took you to the mall?
My grandfather.
Now, Miss Johnson, who do you think is responsible for paying for the damage to your car?
Brandon's parents.
Wrong. You are.
Why is that?
Because the only adult who had the information that your daughter was not permitted to drive with anyone else in the car, that teenagers have generally bad judgment, so the state says, we're not going to give them the ability to hurt somebody because they're still a little young, so they're going to have to demonstrate to us with a probationary period that they're responsible enough. The only one that had that information, the only adult, was you. Miss Scott didn't have that information.
I'm not sure I believe that.
I don't care what you believe. The only thing I know for certain is that you permitted your daughter, in violation of the law, to take a car knowing that she was going to take an underage person at some point in the car. You knew that. His mother didn't know that. Who is this?
Brandon's
Father, Ron.
You didn't know that,
No, I didn't.
but you knew that. And I'll tell you something else, Miss Johnson. What's your first name?
Brandon.
If Brandon was seriously injured in this car accident, you would be responsible for his injuries. Forget the car. The Scott family would own your home. Being a parent requires you to be a parent, not a friend. And if your daughter wanted to go to the mall and pick up her boyfriend and be with her boyfriend and then drop him off home, your responsibility as a parent is to take her there and pick her up and to drop the boyfriend home. And if she says, oh, come on, but you know, it's just a minute, you're supposed to be a parent and say, no, that's against the law. So you allowed her to break the law. So what's the big deal if she says, listen, he doesn't have a driver's license, so what's the big deal? My mother allowed me to break the law. I'll break the law by letting him drive. That's what she learned from you that day, and probably on other dates as well. So I have absolutely no sympathy with you. Pay for the car yourself. Your case is dismissed. That's all.